far, so much adrenaline, so much information. I'm sure that after this event we'll have probably not 100, 150 spin-offs. Yeah, I think we're supposed to be bigger. Sure. Okay. Colleagues, you will give me a sign? Okay, we are online. Hello again on Spinoff Day. It is a great pleasure to share with you that today we had amazing discussion, knowledge, and I encourage you to take all of it. Right now, we will start our fourth part of the today's celebrations with a very interesting keynote. I want to invite on the stage Mihail, who is the Business Creation Manager from EAIF Manufacturing. Big applause for him. He will share with us not only interesting facts, but later on I have several questions very fast. Because from yesterday we found out a lot of way how Bulgaria to get more and more advantage on this. Also, here is the moment to welcome, hello, the mic? Yeah, to welcome the colleague from Cleantech Bulgaria and to thank him a lot. Big applause for them. Today and yesterday, they had also a very interesting event. Of course, they will share later on, but trust me, EAIF, I think, is here in a very, very good way. So, Mihail, it's your hard job to convince the audience how.
Thank you very much. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here today, and a big thank you to Christian Kaluyan for organizing this marvelous event. I think that we can all agree that the past 2 days were filled with a lot of valuable connections, a huge information exchange between different parties. And, yeah, I guess now you hear me, yeah? And I would like to take this discussion further and to also explain a little bit about EAIF manufacturing, what we do, how we work, and what we have achieved so far. Now, since we are talking about spin-offs for the past 2 days, I would also like to tell a little bit more about what is the spin-off infrastructure in Central and Eastern Europe, and to also show some of the best practices that we are employing in Austria and in the region. So, having said that, starting now. Yes, EAIF manufacturing. So yesterday you all had a chance to listen to the presentation of our colleagues from EAIF Digital, but now just one more time to put everything into perspective. EAIF Digital, EAIF Manufacturing, we are all part of the same family. EAIF stands for the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, and the Institute has 8 sub-organizations that are focusing on different sectors that are of key importance for the European Union. So you can see there's EAIF Climate Kick, Digital, Food, Health, Raw Materials, Urban Energy, and then there's EAIF Manufacturing. Now, to some of you, this information is new, but actually the EAIF exists for more than 10 years. This is part of the third pillar of the Horizon program, and we are working also quite closely with the European Innovation Council. So they're our big brother, and they're investing in companies to make them into unicorns. So what is then our role? We focus on the early stage companies, the spin-offs, the young companies that want to scale on European level. But first, why are we doing what we're doing, and why do we exist? As you can imagine, in the past 10 to 15 years, there were many different changing geopolitics. So a lot of the manufacturing capacity from Europe was outsourced to different low-cost regions in the world, and this did not really help the European industry. So we became quite dependent, not only for our manufacturing capacity in different regions, but also for the innovation. So at a certain point of time, the European Commission decided that we should invest more into the innovation in the manufacturing space, so that we can turn the manufacturing industry in Europe into a greener and more in a better place for the whole society. Now, EAIF manufacturing, also quite similar to the other knowledge innovation communities, is a pan-European organization. We are headquartered in Paris, and we have 6 offices. Now, the reason why we have such a presence, and also the reason why the EAIF Digital and the other organizations follow the same structure, is because by having that regional division, we are able to really penetrate the local ecosystems and to build meaningful connections with industry, with academia, and with the private sector. So as you can see, we have offices in Spain, in Sweden, in Germany, Italy, Austria, and Greece. And I'm personally based in the office in Vienna, so in Austria, and this is what is my role today, that I also talk a little bit about the best practices that we have there and how they can be implemented on the Balkan region and especially in Bulgaria. EAIF Manufacturing is not just a European organization. We are a very large industrial association. This means that some of the biggest industrial companies and manufacturing companies in Europe are our members. So if you look at the slide behind me, you can see some very familiar names such as Volkswagen, Magna, Volvo, Procter & Gamble, etc. So roughly 60% of the companies that are our members come from industry, but we also have around 30% from universities and then also share from the research environment. Now what this gives us is a very close connection, not only with the industry, but also with the academia. And this is a key moment for us because it gives us very early access to breakthrough technologies that we can then help to scale on a European level and to bring them faster to the industry. And this is what I will explain a little bit now. Now, EAIF Manufacturing is structured around 3 pillars. Just bear with me for 3 more minutes and then it will really get interesting. We have the innovation, the education, and the business creation pillar. Now, the education pillar works with universities where they try to develop different training programs that target the manufacturing sector. So expertise in biotechnology, in microelectronics, so really sectors that are of key importance to Europe, but we lack the know-how and the labor and the knowledgeable people that can develop these technologies. We also have the innovation team, which is operating a large call for proposals, which is similar to a normal Horizon call. And within that process, we provide funding to consortia of companies that want to develop a technology from TRL 6 to TRL 9, so that after that we can successfully commercialize the technology. And then last but not least, it's the business creation team, and this is also the team that I'm representing. And our job in the whole, let's say, ecosystem is that we work very closely with the startups, so spin-off startups and scale-ups. And primarily we focus on the stages from pre-seed to early Series A. So just very quickly, what we do for startups. In really the great technologies, the great startups that have breakthrough technologies, we invest, we help them scale on a European level. And of course, we work quite closely when it comes to IP management, IP protection. And as you can imagine, this is very important for any startup that is trying to develop hardware solutions or just the technology that needs to be protected. So far, everything has been a bit vague. So we do many things, but what is actually the impact? And now I would like to share some numbers with you that really exemplify what we have achieved in the short 3 years since our establishment. So far, we have worked and supported more than 800 startups. So those are 800 startups that have solutions for the manufacturing industry. So different technologies that can be implemented either to improve the quality of the manufacturing processes, to improve the energy efficiency of factories, or simply to make everything more sustainable. Throughout this period, we have introduced these startups more than 1,100 times to different manufacturing companies. So the slide with the large manufacturing corporates that are our members, we have introduced most of the startups to them and to also a bigger pool of corporates. Now, throughout the years, we have developed a system where the large manufacturing corporates in Europe come to us with very specific challenges. So they're either looking for a solution to a specific challenge or looking for a technology that they find interesting. And then we act as a knowledge and innovation community, which means that we then look into our portfolio of startups and we help them get in touch with the startups that best fit their challenges. We also have developed specific programs that provide funding for the implementation of pilot projects. And this is of particular importance to the large corporates, because whenever we are talking about new technologies and manufacturing sector, no one really wants to touch the production processes, right? If the production stops, it's a bit chaos, and let's say the consequences are really serious. But we have found a way to deal with this challenge and to actually help the startups to implement their technologies in large manufacturing companies. Yes, since we speak a lot about spin-offs in the past 2 days, and this is now the link with Austria, I wanted to show you one statistic that comes from Spinoff Austria. And this is the partner of Spinoff Bulgaria, and it's also for your information just to see what Austria has managed to achieve in the past 10 to 15 years. So apparently between the 2018 and 2021, there were 146 new spin-offs being created in Austria. So this is not only manufacturing, this is also life sciences, health, mobility, and different sectors. But in total, they have managed to establish 146 new spin-offs. And I really like the target that Spinoff Bulgaria has set, that we have 100 new startups by the end of 2030. But as a Bulgarian, I really hope that we can achieve this target in half of the time. So not 2030, but 2025. Thank you. And now, the main question that all of us perhaps have is how has Austria managed to achieve that? How are they ensuring this smooth transfer of knowledge from academia and research institutes to industry, and how they have managed to establish these 146 startups? And the answer is quite simple. There's a lot of public funding for young startups that are trying to develop new technologies. That is definitely the case, but often the funding is not enough. So the funding is enough to finish the technology, but if we want these spin-off companies to continue to exist and to scale their solutions on a European level, they need something more than finance. They also need expert advice, and they need access to market support. And this is what the Austrian government and Vienna Business Agency has realized quite early on. So once EIT Manufacturing was established, we entered into a strategic project with them that aims to help these young spin-off companies to get to the access much faster. The program that I'm talking about is called Discover Vienna Manufacturing Edition. It is an open call for young companies that have solutions for the manufacturing industry and also for, let's say, in broader industry context. It is run once a year, and basically every company can apply. Then we select the 15 to 20 best startups that we then bring to Vienna. And when we bring them to Vienna, we onboard all of our corporates and public partners to give them a glimpse of what the Austrian ecosystem is all about. So on the slide before me, you can see, let's say, the impact that we have managed to have with the program. So far, we have supported more than 40 spin-offs and young companies that came to Vienna and got in touch with some of the biggest manufacturing companies in Europe. So you can see on the slide between me that we have Infineon, we have Bosch, Borealis, KTM, Engel. So those are really huge giants in the manufacturing industry that is also very hard to work with. But by bringing them to Vienna, we give them the first contact with the market. And this is often what is missing in many of the governmental programs that aim to support spin-offs. So having said that, I would like to also tell you a story about one of our portfolio companies and how they managed to, let's say, what was their journey from a pure research project to a final market-ready product that we are now trying to support on a European level. Now, the startup is called RoboTwin, and can you change the slide? Yes, the previous one, yeah. So Maggie, it's a female founder of the startup, was doing her PhD in the Czech Technical University. And as part of her research project, she developed an algorithm and a system that workers can use to program robots. Now, if any of you has ever dealt with automation and, let's say, robotics, you perhaps know that programming robots is very hard and it's also very expensive. This is usually done from the system integrators. It takes time, it takes money, and most of the companies cannot really afford to do it. And this is also one of the reasons why, for example, our industry in Bulgaria has not managed to automate so much itself, simply because the whole process of integrating robots is also very cost intensive. But with the help of technologies like this, the whole process becomes quite easy, quite intuitive, and also quite cheap to be done. So basically, the person shows with the sensor what the robots need to do, and then the robot does it. when we first met with Maggie, this was still her research project in the university. She had huge aspirations to turn this into a spin-off company and to basically make a company out of it. But as you can imagine, developing a hardware startup and really scaling this technology on a European level is not an easy task. So we jumped in. So we jumped in and we started working with her for the past 1.5 years. And on the slide behind me, you can basically see the whole journey that she went through, from the idea phase of having this technology to the final stage where we are now helping her to expand this technology on a European level. So as I said, everything started during her time at the university, doing her research and doing the first academic POC, so proof of concept project, with a partner where the technology was basically validated that it works. As a second step, and if there are any startups in the room, this is also interesting for you, we brought them into an incubation and acceleration program that is managed by EIT, and this is our mother organization. This program is open for not only for manufacturing startups and industrial solutions, but for technologies of all kinds. So it could be culture tech, it could be health tech, whatever. Young startups can join that program. They get the financial resource to get going, to establish the legal entity. They also get a lot of access to different experts from the relevant field that support them to develop the business case. Now, once Maggie went through that program, she had her legal entity, and she also had her business case. So the business model was drafted, and everything started to somehow get into a shape to spin off the company from the university. As a next step, what we really needed to understand is what is the perception of the industry towards the technology. So that's why we brought her into the Discover Vienna program, and this is the slide that I showed before. Once she got into the program, we started introducing her to some of the biggest corporates in Austria, where she got direct feedback, what they like about the technology, what they don't like, and how they think this technology can be either improved or better, or made better fit for their specific field of operation. With that particular knowledge that she collected, she went back to us and she started developing the technology even further. At a certain point, it became clear that this is very attractive for the industry, and there's also a lot of interest from investors. That's why we again brought her into an acceleration program that was focused on sales and investments. So basically, she was trained to do high-level sales pitch, and she was, let's say, educated on the topic on how to sell industrial technology to manufacturing companies, which, believe me, it's really hard and it's not that easy. Then once she exited that program, she already had the company, she had the contacts, she had the knowledge, the technology was almost ready. So the last thing that was left to be done was to actually get on the market. But before that, and this is valid for many technologies, the technology itself needs to be made fit for the mass market, meaning that if suddenly she gets 1,000 orders, she needs to be able to fulfill them. And this is often very hard for a normal startup to achieve, right? So that's why we brought her into a consortia with a large industrial cluster from Slovakia, one research and technology office from Italy, one from the Czech Republic, and two large corporates. They received a funding of close to €1 million so that they can finalize this technology to make it ready for the market. And so after that, we can really start, let's say, bringing her to potential clients. And now this brings me to my last step, and let's say the last step. Now that the technology is ready for the mass market, it's actually happening next week, but I'm taking her and 15 of our best startups and bringing them to the region of Upper Austria, where we are going to introduce them again to some of the biggest manufacturing companies in Austria and in the DACH region, where she really needs to start selling. So now she has everything, she's ready for the market, and now it's really up to the startup and to the team to do the final push so that they can start scaling. So it might sound very abstract to many of you because it's manufacturing, it's industry, it's not sexy, but what I'm trying to show here is that if we are talking about spin-offs and really producing great startups from academic research, finance and funding is not enough. We need partners, and we need partners on an European level. We cannot work in silos in the different European regions and hope that we develop unicorns and great companies that will solve the biggest challenges of Europe. This is not happening. And this is exactly what is the main strength of the EAT family. Because we are pan-European organizations, we have the connections in the different sectors, we are not-for-profit organizations, so we are not pursuing profit or revenue, and every time we're supporting a young company, we actually have the interest that we help them. And for that purpose, we are also collaborating with many companies. Having said that, thank you, and if anyone of you wants to understand more about how we support young companies and how we facilitate the process of technology transfer to the market, please get in touch with me. Thank you. Profit or revenue, and every time we're supporting a young company, we actually have the interest that we help them.
What can I say? Many topics that you increase. First, starting with the female entrepreneurship. I'm personally attached with it. Innovation, science, process, and very good know-how with examples. So, Mihail, thank you for this deep knowledge. Finally, I get it. So, amazing job. I have one question to you. Where do you see the strongest collaboration with the Bulgarian SME?
That is a very good question. Thank you, Chris, for that. So, being native Bulgarian, I have a quite good understanding of the Bulgarian industry, the different sectors that have thrived and that thrive now. But somehow, throughout the years, the SMEs have been more or less underserved. We have some really amazing manufacturing SMEs, for example, that can be considered hidden champions. So really operating in very niche sectors, but solving worldwide problems. And for me personally, the biggest problem that they face is that they lack this connection with the rest of Europe. They lack the connection with the industry, with their counterparts from the rest of the European countries. They also lack the connection with the investors and with the other, let's say, market organizations. So this is definitely something where we as EIT Manufacturing can help.
Thank you. Big applause for Mihail. Thank you for being with us and sharing this amazing know-how. For sure, the ecosystem quite support, and it is a matter of time, all of us, to work even in a much better result. I mean, we are here, Cleantech is here, EIT Manufacturing is here, so we expecting all of you who is interested of how to commercialize, how to grow, how to make a scale up. We are here to support, so thank you again. Right now, I will invite on stage a person that I love. This is the truth. I love her. I'm sorry, Montserrat, I need to say it. I love you. This person is quite dear to us because this is probably one of the most energy, successful, and still very, let's say, warm person with huge expertise and motorbike. So for me, it's a great pleasure, and big applause for Montserrat Daban, who is the president of European Bioregion Council. So big applause. With Montse, we have very successful stories. We are part of this council, and thank Montse. It's a great pleasure. Next time I will bring, I don't know, my yellow also dress, so to be together on you with your expertise, which is really impressive. I expecting to understand more how you're doing with more champions in European project, because right now we want to showing them and to take more awareness of what exactly means success when it comes to European projects. So the stage is yours.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Christina. And thank you very much, everybody, being here at this moment, also after having lunch and a little bit with these relaxed moments after the... And thank you for your explanation, Mihail, that was very enlightening also. It is not about... Probably it's not about success, it's about understanding probably how to align your strategies to what Europe is asking you to do somehow, and we are part of that. So European projects from our perspective, how we do that in BioCat, and I will explain you a little bit about that, is just not about having the EU funds to do what you want to do, but having the EU funds to transform your ecosystem and your organization to be more aligned to the common challenges that we have at EU level. So I think this is what we are doing, and we are very happy. And you say always that we are very successful. We have been. I hope it's going to be sustainable, because the last 6 proposals we got 4 funded, which is a good figure. But let's keep that momentum up, because now we are building 2 more proposals with you. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm here also because we, with Health Life Sciences cluster in Bulgaria, we are working in this NAXI project. I would like to explain a little bit about that. So one of the big challenges in cluster organizations is, one is sustainability, for sure, sustainability, economic sustainability, but the other one is how to have a greater impact on what you do for your ecosystem. We put in place programs, we want to raise Spinoff creation, we want to get funding, but how are we sure that what we do has an impact? And this project is totally about that. These inclusive and aligned innovation agendas across Europe is about first asking clusters, and we performed a survey to 26, almost 30 clusters in Europe, asking what you do for your ecosystem, how you map your organizations, how you map your stakeholders, what you do for them. And then when they go back to us and tell us what, we also build the logical framework of impact, which is, if you want in 5-year times, it always is about thinking what you will do in 5-year times, because doing what you need now, it's late. So you're thinking in 5-year times, and then if you want to increase the number of the jobs in life sciences or the spin-offs, or it's an increase, the impact is about increase, then you go a little bit backwards and you say, okay, which is the outcomes I expect to have, which are the outputs I need, and which are the activities I'm doing for that. And if my activity does not have a direct line to the impact I want to reach, I have to seize it. I have to start again and think another one. And this is what the project is about. So thank you and be very, very welcome to get the highlights of this project, the work, the indicators that we've been measuring. This project will end at mid-2024 and will be released for everybody to join our guidelines and see if we can build this impact together. So that was my let's say, my ad in this panel, but I'm not the main protagonist or the main character of this panel. This panel is about three women that are very relevant also in their work, in their careers. I would like to ask Professor Victoria Sarafian to join me at the stage. I would like also to ask Maria Nakova also to join us. And to Ira Alevra also to join us on the stage. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now I will probably use that mic over there. Otherwise, you will not see them. And I like to introduce them. Professor Victoria Sarafian, I met her last year in Burgas, the first spin of Bulgaria. I have to say that I'm very, impacted also by what I see here today. So congratulations to all the cluster team, the BioCluster team for what you've done. Victoria Sarafian, she's an MD and PhD and also a doctor in sciences. She's director of the Research Institute at the Medical University of Plovdiv. And she has an interesting thesis published on how to support the creation of spin-offs. This is really relevant for the subject of today. Maria Nakova, she is building the European Digital Innovation Hub in Cleantech, if I'm not wrong. She has expertise on scaling up large projects, on the economical impact of those projects. She is national contact point for EIC, and legal and financial matters also. So I think this is very relevant for the discussion on today's panel. And Ira Alevra, she comes from Greece, from Larisa. She is at the Institute of Entrepreneurship Development, and she's experienced in tech transfer and connecting stakeholders. This is what clusters are about, and this is what we also do. I will ask her some questions, but please, if you have questions also, this has to be interactive, so you have questions, please ask them. They will be more than willing to answer all of them. I also want to say that having EU-funded projects, like I said, is about knowing what comes next and how to leverage on those funds to what you already have in terms of resources and make it happen. So I would like to provide some examples. All of you, we can start with Ira, for example, some examples on how to make those collaborations, these private partnerships with academia, with industry, successful. Do you have any example on that? Because this is really a tricky part of our work, connecting public and private players. So please, which is your take there?
Yes. Hello. Thank you for inviting us, for having me here. Firstly, I would like to stress that innovation cannot happen in isolation. So collaborating in any framework is important in order to find the right opportunities and take advantage of them. Public-private collaboration enable the pooling of technology, resources, whatever is needed for EU funding, but also for business acceleration. So let me tell you briefly an example. Institute of Entrepreneurship Development has its recent venture Joist Marketplace, and also we are developing a European Digital Innovation Hub called Health Hub, and we are responsible for managing as contractors some activities of business acceleration services of EAC. For Tech to Market program, you can search for that. So what is the opportunity behind this? For the first year, this program has been strictly for EAC beneficiaries. But after this pilot phase, what they have discovered is that there are widening ecosystems like Bulgaria, like Greece. And from this year and on, the program will be open for some places for science-based startups in order to validate their business idea and develop a go-to-market strategy. So this is an opportunity that comes from networking, from collaboration, for a simple grant. And this is an opportunity that comes for us, for you, to collaborate and, let's say, give, a boost to what you are already doing. We had a walk around your ecosystem, you had a walk around our ecosystem, and now we explore together what can happen through partnerships.
Well, that's very good news, and also it's important to see that a pilot was tested, it worked, and then it has to be adapted to the other ecosystems, but it's an opportunity for the companies that are there. So thank you for that. And Maria, what do you have as an example for that?
Well, indeed, the word is collaboration always, because as head of the European Digital Innovation Hub in construction, what we do is that we unite forces to support small and medium-sized enterprises. So it's a network of 150 digital innovation hubs throughout Europe, with huge potential to support each and every idea from the very beginning. But we are in the era of knowledge and skills. So in this year, we need to start from the training. Every brilliant idea starts only if we have the capacity. So of course, again, the hubs, but still there are a lot of clusters you mentioned that are supporting the knowledge framework. Because it were just 12 months ago when the ChatGPT came into reality, and it's changed the entire ecosystem. So right now we need to be more flexible, we need to be more adaptable, and we need to be very quick, because we used to. Right now we're speaking about robotics, advanced manufacturing, new technologies, but still we're trying to teach the students in the way that we used to do it. We need to be completely new in order to follow the path and in order to realize that soft skills are right now the hard skills that we all need.
Well, that's very disruptive. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I have the feeling that sometimes it's easier to have this kind of public-private partnerships when the money comes from Europe. Because now we have to activate our funding to make this happen, our companies and our funding. But it's always an example and a reference to work this way.
Indeed, Mihail mentioned about the IT manufacturing. Cleantech Bulgaria, we're the first people here in the country that welcome EIT and make it popular. So for the last 10 years, we made a huge synergies because money are on board. Of course, some bureaucracy might be easier, and thanks, Christina, for inviting here the Hadea people. And indeed, yesterday I had a very wonderful conversation with their director, and I sincerely believe that these people have the expertise, but also the real willingness to make things simplified, so I believe that soon the rules will be easy enough for everyone.
Well, I'm sure, Maria, about that. So, Victoria, which is your take there?
Well, as the association and link and collaboration between academia and private sector and business lies within the indicators for assessment and ranking of universities, usually universities are searching for business partners rather than the other way around. In my opinion, the normal way should be when the business searches contacts with academia, when they have a task to be solved and they need the intellectual expertise of academia. In this aspect, we have been very lucky meeting a young spin-off company in Bulgaria that was awarded several times. I'm glad to see its founder here, the Matrichem company, that they came to us with their own proposal and idea to have it checked, to have it proved in good laboratory practice in an institution that can offer the expertise and the equipment for that. So we've been lucky, that's a good example, but I think that these are very few examples like that. We should foster somehow the link between business and academia to be more active, universities in advertising their expertise so that the business is interested in what we're doing. Otherwise, if we keep silent, nobody knows.
Right. That's an interesting point of view, and actually it has to be more examples, not just one or a few. But I guess that for that are some barriers and enablers at regulatory environment that help or not innovation, on that sometimes we can think of protection versus facilitation. So I would like to ask you, and please take the lead, any of you, how can we overcome these barriers, these enablers? Which are those enablers that can help us overcome the barriers of the regulation, for example?
Yes, regulatory framework in some places, in some cases, has been helpful, and acknowledging some risks and some, let's say, dangers that have to be, for example, we have the pandemic, and afterwards telemedicine has been embraced and innovation in health sector is promoted a lot. When it comes to collaboration of business and universities and academia for the development of projects or for the development or for spin-offs or for anything, some considerations that exist and mentioned by Hadea also is IPR protection. So how do you manage to build collaboration when you cannot be honest about building an idea, building a project? There are ways that you can protect yourself, like non-disclosure agreements, licensing, patents. You can always do that, and you can, of course, refer to the European Commission help desk about that. They are always helping. But I should say that building trustful and long-term and sustainable cooperation is the key to not be afraid always that something will be lost in the way.
No, and indeed, if it's a core innovation, it's always problematic in terms of regulation, because if it's a real innovation, it's not regulated. It's just an invention. So definitely, we need to be a little bit concerned because, for example, the AI, it's brilliant, it works a lot, but still needs a lot of regulation. So, and we need to be cautious, and we need to take care about the real aim of what we are doing. Because, as Ira said, regulations are not only bad. Sometimes they're stopping us, but still giving us the chance to reconsider whether we have all the impacts. But again, I believe that the European Commission demonstrates their sincere willingness to make things simple. Even with, just for example, with the lump sum grants, they're trying to focus on the results explicitly. And in this regard, I think that it's not the problematic issue, but again, the real business needs to explain its needs, its preoccupations, so that we can solve them together.
Well, I like when you say that innovation needs regulation, but doesn't have still a regulation. So it's sometimes we need to advocate for these technologies and how to better regulate them to enable that this happens at the end of the day, because this is always in health technologies is for the benefit of the patients at the end of the day. So in health technologies.
Exactly. In health technologies and in biomedical sciences, we really need a national law for innovation that is on the way to be approved, I hope, soon. And also, there are no national regulations on good laboratory practice. In the field of biomedical research, they're lacking clear-cut regulations concerning trials with patients and drugs and, let's say, plant supplements and so on, which are not regulated properly. And there is another issue that we scientists in academia are facing. In most fields of basic and fundamental research, we don't have usually a very direct link to the business. Not every fundamental result is going to any financial output. In these cases, scientists are sometimes underestimated of the work they're doing, being expected that what they get should go to the market. On the other way, the academic development and promotion of scientists depends on their results, but not on their business achievements. So there is a contradiction between the aims, and there should be some regulations based not only on business and outcome, but also on fundamental research as well, I guess.
So probably we need different and newer business cases.
Maybe.
We have to change that focus a little bit. So now let's move to EU projects, because this is always a big thing to increase the number of projects we are involved in. I remember, Victoria, last year you were saying you were planning to have involvement in one project. I think that you have it granted. Is that right? No, not yet. Some of them, okay. So probably, and most of you are really involved with EU projects, you also from your side. What are the key risk factors that we can face when we enter a EU project, we enter a consortium? We are not really used to what we will be expected to do. Which are the key risks for us?
Trust with the partners. Indeed, again, the word is collaboration, because the huge EU projects are only granted when you have a good consortium. And it's all about partnership, mutual understanding, and trust. And I am convinced that this is the key. And of course, we need to have this brilliant idea, because, you know, each country has its own smart specialization strategy. We have, and I listened carefully for this project in EAIF about the innovation agenda. But still, we're all following the European innovation agenda, and all activities that we're doing should be aligned to the general path that we're moving forward.
I think, and you mentioned that, we are not really aware of all the opportunities that we can find. I mean, Europe is funding huge amounts of money on different projects, sometimes doing the same things or similar things, not exactly overlapping, otherwise would be wasting money, of course. But are we aware of all them? There are many portals and mechanisms at EU level in which you can check what happens in your area. There are many cascade funding opportunities. This means that companies and cluster organizations, for example, I will bring here another project of ours, which is called Bright, and has a cascade funding to support the visit of clusters and SMEs to my region, to Uppsala, to Estonia, or to Lille in France. And I take the opportunity to share that with you, because all that is explained at EU level in different places, but we are not using all that money, all those opportunities. So I think that we need to communicate we don't know how to effectively communicate what we do at EU projects. I don't know if you agree there with me.
Completely. Indeed, completely, and this is the main problem. For example, I mentioned the EDIH network. Huge potential, billions of euros that will be transferred to services to small and medium-sized enterprises. But the same comes with the centers of vocational excellence, because they're in the field of capacity building, and still we're all identifying digital opportunities, how to be more circular, how to make transition. So probably it should be about communication, and forums like this make sense, that we spread the word, we share it each other. Definitely, I believe that, yeah, it's always the communication is the key.
You want to add?
You go first.
Firstly, I want to stress that one of the risks is what you mentioned before, within a partnership to have different aims and different perspectives. Having different perspectives is good, is desired, and EU promotes that, but you need to find a way to have a common aim, and the same applies to the impact. In order to create an impact, each of the partners have to serve a different role. For example, academy, the strong expertise, the business partners, facilitate the connection with the external environment of the project. Because the project should not be promoted as an EU project, because the general audience is not interested. It has to be promoted like an opportunity or a solution for someone.
Right. Trust is very important, but I assume that you never enter a consortium if you don't trust the partners. So you should know them in advance in most cases. Just a personal experience. I've been trying to form a consortium with partners I trust. There is the expertise, but none of them is willing to coordinate that consortium, because all of us have already experienced the assessment and the monitoring process of such a project. And usually what the assessment focuses on is the amount of money that has been spent, but not on the real result that you get. And especially in the biomedical field, where the path from bench side to bedside is quite long, usually meandering, it's not a straight path that you follow, results could be assessed in a different way, not based on the money that you have spent. Yes, there are huge opportunities to spend money, but is that more important than getting the results? And sometimes there is a confusion, and the very clumsy procedures for managing these projects just makes people a bit cautious about coordinating them. Being partner, okay, but being coordinator is another story.
Well, that's true. That's true, and sometimes it's difficult to manage or to create the consortium. A couple of useful tips that I can share also in that regard. For example, when you look at a call, the first thing to identify is the topic, what they expect from you, and then look for the combination of the outputs they expect from you, the outcomes they expect from you, and how your objectives give an answer to those outcomes expected. Because if you don't build this panel in which you have what is relevant for the call, and at the right, you write everything you might do with your consortium or your resources to answer to those challenges that the topic is putting you in your face, let's say, you're not going to have a valid proposal. That is almost the first thing. Am I able to answer to those three? They put it clearly there. This is the topic. This is what is expected. And then this is the key outputs, the key outcomes, and the impact expected. From there, you have activities to provide to that, and there you have your work packages, and there you have your methodology, and there you have your results. This is like very clear, sometimes it's too obvious, but we forget if we talk about a CSA, an IA, or what we talk about, and that is probably the key to having a successful or more or less successful proposal. Do you agree there that sometimes we forget about that? And I think we have just 1 minute left, so if we have something very urgent or a burning question from the audience also on that regard, we will be happy to share it also. But please, Maria, you were going to answer.
Yeah, definitely you're right. We need to follow the big aim, but also never to forget the small targets, the KPIs, all the outputs and outcomes that we need to.
This is a tricky language, but we have to learn how to tell about that. So any question, any experience that went very well or very bad about that? And sometimes you have to start again the amendment or amend the grant agreement because you have a partner that leaves or a partner that stays. So these are things that happen on the road. So a consortium is always like a bumpy road, but it's very rewarding because at the end of the day, it allows you to transform, to collaborate. And about collaboration, I will wrap up this panel saying that keep this collaboration alive. This is very important. I see the difference. I really mentioned that between last year's and this year's impact. I have to say that I also love you guys because I always feel at home here. And I always want to track this growth that you're experiencing and be supportive and learn from each other. This is what collaboration is about. I hope you agree there, and if you have a last few words you want to share with everybody, please take the mic, Victoria, Maria, or Ira.
Well, these are great opportunities to develop soft skills, also to communicate and to network. Thank you for this opportunity.
And information is the key. It is elsewhere, so don't be afraid to try. It's always the best option.
Yes, I agree. Countless of opportunities, and a lot of them were presented here today.
Well, thank you very much for organizing this panel and having us here today.
We are hugging, don't worry. And coming from the health sector, I can assure you that is quite good for your health. Okay, thank you again for Montserrat for these inspirational ladies. During watching you, I take consideration that, yeah, we have ladies only panel, so thank you for that. You all know that I really like such a type of collaboration. A lot of tips from Montserrat, thank her for this. Yes, a lot of great news, I hope, will coming up. The only word from me to conclude this panel is, again, ecosystem. This is my favorite word, but everybody knows here in the room. Right now, we're having a very, very special guest whom, how to describe, his experience. He's powerful. I can assure you that this stage will be blow up after you met him. And it is a great pleasure for me to welcome Daniel Abbou, who is the General Director of European AI Forum and also Director of the AI Association Germany. So please, warm welcome to him. I know that Daniel having some visit here. It is the first trip in Sofia, but I think that 2 more days and we'll fill you with so much ideas. Pleasure to collaborate with you. Of course, big applause for Kalyan Rachev from AI Cluster Bulgaria, who is representing in a very great way the Bulgarian ecosystem next to this amazing organization, 2,000 organizations in the field of artificial intelligence. Daniel, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Dobar den. My name is Daniel Abbou, as she said, and I'm very happy to be here the first time in Sofia. So, on the point I want to discuss with you, I know it's 3 p.m., you know, sunny outside, you're sitting here, and I really appreciate that you're here listening to me for some minutes, and I promise you it won't be a PowerPoint orgy, but there we are. So you see this logo quite around here. This is the European AI Forum. Why does this European AI Forum exist? I can tell you there's no shortage of associations in Brussels and on the European scale. You can, especially in the holiday time, you don't have to cook at home. You can go from association to association to association, each one with their certain dignified catering system and stuff like that, yeah? But why does this exist? And I can tell you why. I think it's now over 5 years ago, I was in Brussels, and I was invited by pure chance by an organization which called themselves a European Digital Organization. I won't name them exactly. And I was there, and I was a little surprised that there was Microsoft, there was Apple, there was Meta, there was still Facebook, and many, many other organizations or companies which were not European. And I was sitting in this conference room and I was saying, this is not my crowd, this is not my game. Because the hyperscalers have other interests in mind, and especially, of course, Europe as a market, yeah, but they are not so interested in themselves, in that a real European ecosystem is there. So I went there, became the general manager of the German AI Association. I will tell you a little bit about that later. But this was the reason I thought it is important that we have a real European AI organization. And with no sponsoring from Microsoft or platinum launches sponsored by Huawei or anything like that. And it's not we are anti-American or we're anti-Chinese, but we have to see that Europe needs its proper ecosystem, its proper interests. And I think this is one of the important things that we have. And so it took, we started with Croatia, France, and Germany. And very soon, and for that, Christina, I'm very thankful that the Bulgarian AI cluster, together with Kalyan and of course Dimitar and all the friends around that came. And so as you can see, the 9 countries are, I try not to watch, yeah, it's France, Germany, Austria, Bulgaria, Slovenia, Croatia, Poland, Lithuania, the Netherlands, and I think that would be the 9. And we work together. So we have each meetings like twice a month, and it has a little resemblance of the Grand Prix de Revision de la Chanson, so a little bit, so we go everywhere throughout Europe. But what are we discussing? We have to realize that the European AI market and companies is fragmented. Yeah, there's no real interconnection between, let me say, a startup in Sofia and a startup in Berlin. There's no real contact between, of course, on the point of universities and stuff like that. There are decades of networks that are here. But where are the networks for European AI startups there? And doesn't exist at the moment. So this is one of our main goals, to achieve that European companies work together, they share knowledge together, to share data together, and to have a perspective on thinking how Europe can work, and perhaps also companies working together, and perhaps having together product ideas and things like that. But of course, also what we have to see is that, and this is our governing board, we funded ourselves, so we were informal for 3 years, and then I think half a year, we organized as a real umbrella organization in Belgium. And this was a very important meeting, so that we looked each other in the eyes, and we didn't say, do you want to date me? But we wanted to say, yeah, let's get this way together, let's march it together for a European AI ecosystem. Let me tell me a little bit about why, besides the cooperation between startups and scale-ups, it is necessary. I think that when you see it, especially on the point of the European AI Act, which is discussed now in Brussels, we have to realize something, that okay, you can have regulation in Europe. You can regulate AI, and I think in certain cases it's completely okay. I'm not saying there shouldn't be a regulation in Europe for that. But what I have to say is, European startups and scale-ups, they have like 5, 10, 50 persons working for them, yeah, but they don't have the legal expertise as the big hyperscalers. Yeah, when you go into Brussels, yeah, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, they have hundreds of lawyers. Yeah? They can take every kind of regulation the European Commission throws at them. They can take it. Yeah? But a startup in Berlin-Kreuzberg or in Sofia with 5 people, do they know how to get the compliance cost, how to assess if they're in the high-risk category or if they're not? And this is one of the points we have to realize, yeah? That we need interest for European startups and scale-ups, especially on the point of AI in Brussels. Because the important governing decisions on digital affairs, and I don't want to be disrespectful, it is not done in Sofia, it is not done in Berlin, it's not done in Paris, it's done in Brussels. Yeah? We have to realize, yeah, that national regulation, especially on digital affairs or so, is a thing, I would say, of the past, but it's not that important anymore. The real rules are made in Brussels, and we have to be there, and we have to sit on the table, and we have to discuss it with them. And let me say also one thing about the impact of Eastern European countries. One thing which is interesting as a German, and it's a little bit the arrogance of old Europe in there, that they're thinking, yeah, we are ahead of everything and stuff like that. And when you realize, when you're in Lithuania, when you're in Sofia and stuff like that, there are so many things which are much more digitized than in Germany, yeah, which we talked about that a little bit earlier on, that we have to realize as Western Europeans, yeah, that East Europe, and especially also Bulgaria, is a market of the future, and you have the people, you have the ideas, and you have the experience also in playing in this big market. And this is not only about European tenders and stuff like that, it is about reaching the whole European market, and we have to work together for that, that Eastern Europe and Bulgaria is getting recognized on the map of that. So as you can see, we gave us a governing board. It's well, not very interesting in this point, but what I want to emphasize, what we also did is to say, in contrast to the European Union, when we take decisions, yeah, it's a majority vote. Yeah, it's not like in Europe there where you have unanimity. So in this case, that everyone has to agree. No, we are saying 50%, and that's okay. And because we want to be, how can I say, we don't want night sessions until 3 p.m. As sometimes you have in the European Council. So European regulation, as I said to you, European AI landscape, of course, is the state of European AI. Do we know what is happening throughout Europe on the scale of AI? And I have to say we don't. There are, of course, and I'm talking about companies. I'm not, of course, on the universitarian side, everything is registered and there are maps for that. But do you know what AI companies in whole of Bulgaria are producing or doing? We don't, yeah? We don't know it in Slovenia, we don't. So I represent 400 AI startups from the German side, but even then, it is really hard to know, yeah, what are they producing right now, where are their ideas, what are they gonna do in the next months. And we need more or less a real-time mapping of what is happening at the European AI scene. Because as we are so fragmented throughout the 27 countries in Europe, we need to know what's happening and to get them to know and also to further exchange on that. And then we have our European AI Forum conference. This was the point we started with like 10,000 to 15,000 views in this case. So, and now a little bit about the German AI scene. So we were growing steadily. So as you can see, when the German AI Association was founded, we were like 60. I took over in 2019 as a general manager, and there was like 120, 160, and then the pandemic came. And through the pandemic, the amount of people who are funding companies went through the roof, and which was an interesting point. We didn't expect that, yeah? And now we represent 432. I looked it up at 9 o'clock this morning. We have 432 startups and scale-ups there. So how are they structured? First of all, the most of them, of course, are startups in the case of like 10 to 20 employees. But we also, especially on the point of large language models, we have bigger ones like, I don't know if you know them, they are called Aleph Alpha. They are really trying to do a large language model on a European scale without any American influences there. But we have also Lengu, which are very good in translating and translation software. DeepL, I think, is also quite known. They're out from Cologne. And we do represent them toward the national government, toward the regional thing. So I don't know if you know that, Germany is a very federal state. We have 16 states in Germany. I can tell you it's not always fun of dealing with 16 different states in Germany. On the point of sometimes data security and stuff like that. Yeah, so the states have their own data security organizations there, and sometimes you have another rule of sets and rules in Baden-Württemberg than in Berlin. Complete insane, but yeah, well, welcome to reality. So, and then we have also, of course, our working groups there. And what I have to emphasize, of course, you know, it's like media, automotive and stuff like that. But what I think is really important is our cultural working group. Because what we have to see, and I don't know how it is in Bulgaria, but of course, sometimes you have the problem of, well, skepticism towards new technologies. Yeah, also I think we Germans and also the Austrians are very good at it, in being skeptical about everything. Yeah, and we have to realize that we have to get in an exchange with the society of explaining what artificial intelligence is. Yeah, some say AI stands for amazing inventions. Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, but on the other side, we have to realize, yeah, that there are, how can I say, some kind of mysticism about AI. Yeah, so you see it in politics. I swear to you, yeah, when I'm in Europe and talk to European parliamentarians, and they're saying, oh my God, Mr. Abbou, but you have to say AI, do we lose control as a people and stuff like that? And I said, stop citing Terminator 2 or The Matrix to me. Yeah, some of the fears and stuff like that are completely out of Hollywood blockbuster movies. Yeah, so and we have to get it down, yeah, to a realistic level. It is nothing mystical. It is a freaking tool. It's a tool which can help people in decision making. It can help in manufacturing and stuff like that. But we have to get it down from this mysticized technology and explain to the people what is out there. And you can do it especially with cultural events, with discussions in schools, in universities, and of course when you go to universities, of course not with people who are studying data science, but in the other areas. And you have to have hard discussions about that. And you can prevent people having fear if they have knowledge. And this is one of the, I think, really important things that we learned as an organization there. So as I told you about the European AI Act, we are very active there in telling what is happening, and of course we are also giving our insights towards the European Commission and the European Parliament. Just for the last minute there. We have to realize what I told to you. We have to stand together as Europe in the AI field. Why is that? You have to realize something, what's happening with generative AI. Generative AI is not only ChatGPT. ChatGPT it's a fantastic tool, and it's really fun using it and stuff like that. But every time you talk to ChatGPT and you pose them a question, you get a Californian answer. Yeah? You get a Californian answer on this one. We need to have European AI models. We need to have generative AI made for Europe, made by Europeans, for European languages. Yeah? What is about, yeah? Thank you. Of course, ChatGPT can do good German, good English, good French, but what is with Bulgarian? What is with Slovenian? What is with the Croatian language? And we have to, and this is my last sentence because I don't want to take more of the time. Generative AI will take place and will get into every kind of the European economy, as chatbots, as data centers. But the point is, it will be integrated in the next years so deeply that if we don't have our own models, We will give the American hyperscalers our data, our economic data, our company data for free to the hyperscalers, and we have to pay them of getting the models back. How stupid do we have to be to make the same mistake 20 years after we did the same stupid mistake about private data and our shopping things and stuff like that? We have to work together. You as Bulgaria have a big chance there. You're one of the core members of the European AI Forum. I'm very proud of being here. Thank you for taking the time listening to me. I wish you a very pleasant day. Thanks.
Wow, stay, please, please. A lot of things we can discuss, and we will continue, of course. This is only the beginning, but in the morning, when I introduced to our premier academician, Nikolai Denkov, we started a very interesting topic of discussion, actually one of my favorite. It is connected with European AI data spaces. So can you please share more with the audience, because I think this is the very right, let's say, public, and to share what is goal of it.
So one of the interesting thing is, so we're trying to make European large language models. And not on the universitarian side, but startups like Nionic, like Mistral, like Aleph Alpha, like Lengu, they need GPU time of training these models. Most of the big supercomputers are more CPU driven. But for modeling AI models, you need huge dedicated AI data centers. This is one of the most important things. And guess what? We don't have sufficient. So I can tell you a little story about a German HPC, because it's also not attractive at the moment, even getting on the classical HPCs for a German startup, because the process of getting time there is bureaucracy at it's Kafkaesque, if I may say that. You have to wait for months. You have to get through panels and stuff like that. All the startups are getting to the American hyperscalers. We need dedicated AI data centers in Europe. So I was at the supercomputer in here in Sofia, and thankfully they say that the GPUs are coming. Fantastic, but we need more. If we want to do European AI models in the large language model kind, in the multimodal area and stuff like that, we need them. And I know it's expensive, of course. And in 4 years you can throw everything out because the technology goes further. I get that, But governments spend so many stupid money in other things, please, Can we get a priority, on the things which can decide our future, our economic future on that?
Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. I'm sure that during the network we will discuss more and more opportunities. Please take advantage to communicate with Daniel. He is amazing. And talking about artificial intelligence, in the next panel we have, of course, representative not only from our supercomputer, but also for me it's a great pleasure to start inviting the panelists with Professor Silvia Ilieva, who is the director of Gate Institute for Artificial Intelligence. Professor Ilieva, she's amazing, having a lot of expertise in different fields of European project, international project, a very good example of how it could be successful. And of course, I'm very proud in the morning with the Deputy Minister of EGOV, we shared that finally we have a success story talking about the data hub. And the success story coming thanks to Silvia Ilieva and her team from Gate Institute, and for us it's a great pleasure to be part of it. I want to invite on the stage, as I mentioned, Kirill, the operational manager of Discoverer supercomputer in Sofia Tech Park. Later on the last panel, the CEO of Sofia Tech Park will also join, but I think that Daniel already started the discussion. He asked several questions. I don't know. I think you are ready to go. For me also, it's a great pleasure to invite on the stage Professor Ilya Iliev, who is the director of Perimet, amazing project. The time is short, but probably we won't explain everything that Professor Iliev do, but if you have some travel in Plovdiv, do not forget to visit this center. It's amazing. It's a common project from Plovdiv University and Medical University in Plovdiv. You already met Professor Victoria Sarafian, so it will be quite interesting to share this connection, or probably to build, why not, till the end of this discussion, more opportunities and connection for digital health, biotech and digital, artificial intelligence. This is what my expectations are. And last but not, but equal to all the ecosystem, I want to also invite on the stage Apostolis Dimitriadis, who is the BD and manager for who is the Institute of Computer Science. Big applause for him also. Let me share that for this really amazing organization, I think that we have a lot of things to learn from Ford. For those who are dealing with the data, just to mention, to have almost 400,000 structural data of patient records, wow. Wow, 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 wow. So we want to know this how also, so let's start this discussion. Of course, I will ask each of the panelists to represent themselves, what you are doing, and then going directly on the hard work. So starting, of course, with Professor Silvia Ilieva.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation, and thank you for the nice introduction. I will present you our one of our projects, but it's related to this event, the VELES project, which is the Excellence Hub. But before I do this, which one? Which direction? Yes. Who we are. So Gate Institute, we established 4 years ago, and we are financed by European Union under the strong competition. And we established this Gate Center of Excellence, and we are institute within Sofia University, the first one who is dealing with big data and artificial intelligence. And our aim is to do this applied research, innovation, and education to help to prepare the next generation researchers. And we're doing this in collaboration with the government, with the industry, and with entrepreneurship. So our partners were helping us in this journey to establish the Institute and this Center of Excellence are from Chalmers University of Technology and Chalmers Industry Technique. So, you know, Sweden are in the first places in innovation in Europe, so they're helping us in this. And so what is the scale, what we are doing? So we are covering the whole big data value chain, so big data management, data analytics, data insights, and big data engineering. And we'll apply this knowledge in different areas, in future cities, intelligent government, smart industry, and digital health. And here are some of the current projects we are having for dealing with data spaces in different fields. Just to mention before we go to VELES, that diversity project, which we are starting this month, and in fact the next week is the kickoff meeting, is I'm dealing with European project 20 years, but it's the first project which we have 15 points from 15. And we were first in the reserved list, and now we are starting this project this month. And this is about the biodiversity, where we will monitor, we will analyze in different seas. And we'll use also the data space technology in this project. So in addition to this, you see in yellow is our infrastructure, where we are managing different data, when we are creating talents, and we will commercialize the research results. Yes, speaking about data, GATE is a hub for Bulgaria, for International Data Space Association, which is again similar to EAIF, is initiated by Germany, and there are more than 150 members, and there are 11 hubs in different European countries, so we are the hub for Bulgaria, and it's our task and responsibility to stimulate the data sharing and to use this for innovation. And also from last year, we are a NATO test center, and from November this year, we will host the first 2 companies who will come to validate their technologies which are appropriate for dual use for both purposes, and hopefully they will go further in the accelerator. And so now about the Veles project, which we started this year from June. In June was our kickoff meeting here in Bulgaria. This is under Waidera call, and the duration of the project will be 4 years. And we are a consortium of 15 partners from 7 countries. So GATE is the initiator and coordinator of this project, but we are doing this together. And from these 15 partners, they're from southeastern countries, so Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, and Cyprus. So this is for the benefit of those countries, and our experienced partners from Sweden, Spain, and Germany. International Data Space Association is also part of the consortium. And we are covering this quadruple helix model, where there are representatives from different communities, so from policymakers. You've heard in the morning that the Agency for Electronic Governance is member of our project, and also of our other Bulgarian partners. This is Christina is a member of our team, again, representing the cluster, the bioclusters, and citizens and companies. Also, we're having technology companies and academic partners like GATE and other universities. So we are covering interests and viewpoints of different stakeholders. And what are the challenges which we are addressing within this project? So these widening countries, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Greece, and Romania, we know that we are lagging behind in terms of digitalization in the healthcare sector, and also in the innovation-driven initiatives. And also, the other challenge is related to the current regulations in these countries, which, again, we are staying behind. And we all know that in Bulgaria there are centralized databases, some registers with data which we could not use properly, and the current technologies will allow a lot more. And also the innovation potential in this healthcare domain in these 4 widening countries is growing. We heard from our Prime Minister in the morning that there's a big change in the last 2 years, but it's not enough. We have to go to be more visible and to work more. And also there are many other startups, and as Christina mentioned in the morning, we're having a lot, but we need more visibility and to be better. So all those challenges we are addressing within this project. And also with the challenges, there are a lot of opportunities, both at European level and at regional level. So the smart health is defined as one of the strategic value chains by the Strategic Forum of Important Projects of Common European Interest. And this is recognized as a significant importance and to contribute to this growth of jobs and competitiveness. And also of OECD Council recommendations on the health data governance. You know, they're dealing with policies for a better life. So also that lies that the framework to encourage greater availability of timely health data within the countries and across borders is very important, and the pandemic also was example for this. And additional, at EU level, there's such initiative about the European data spaces, and health data spaces. Health data space is one of the first ones, and it was established, the first project in 2022, and so this is one of the main priorities until 2025 to promote this better exchange and access of different types of health data. And in the regional level, also the previous speakers mentioned about our smart specialization strategy. Here the healthcare sector is among of the most essential sectors in our countries. So our vision is that we will accelerate the innovation excellence in those countries in smart healthcare in Bulgaria, Greece, Romania, and Cyprus, and it will be facilitated by our advanced partners, which are already mentioned, and we aim to create this sustainable place-based innovation ecosystem in this regional smart health data space, which for these 4 years we have to found the ground with not only with technologies but with different regulations and common strategy for investments. So here in more details about our objectives and goals to establish this innovation ecosystem, to establish this regional smart health data space between countries which is very challenging, to demonstrate this regional smart health innovation potential, which we need to use, and to transfer this knowledge and good practices between countries. Already in the kickoff meeting, we identified a lot of good practices which could be exchanged between partners, and to ensure these long-term strategies in the field about research and innovation development in each of the countries, and also to contribute to this shaping these national, regional, and EU strategies in the field. So we defined the pilot projects where to demonstrate the power of data and sharing data. And for Bulgaria, this is in the field of Alzheimer. For Cyprus is dementia. And for Greece is about cancer treatment, and Romania about cerebral tumors. So in all these fields, we hope that we'll share data, and it will be based for further innovations. And what are the expected outcomes of the project? So excellent and sustainable smart health-based, place-based innovation ecosystem, joint strategy in those 4 countries for establishing and sustaining this cross-border regional smart health data space, 4 pilots which will be implemented, long-term strategy, which I mentioned, and also this smart health learning curriculum to help for next generation scientists and workers to be prepared for this. So thank you. A little bit longer, but I think that this is a very important project for all of us.
I think a lot of parts, most of the parts that you representative is part of my question also answering, but which is great. Probably it will be interesting for the rest. Right now we are trying to collect structural data, medical structural data. Can you explain in very simple way what does it mean when we're talking about health data?
Sorry. Yeah, in fact, we are not trying to collect them. So we are trying to stimulate people to share them. But what it means to share data, it's not definitely open data which we're sharing for free. Sharing data within the data space means that you are defining the rights, who is able to see your data, how to use your data, at what time, under which circumstances. So this is kind of a marketplace space for data. And data spaces, it's the ecosystem with different elements. One is the technological infrastructure, which it's environment where securely you may share your data. And the person is in full control of his health data. And this is the potential to use this shared data for researchers, for innovations, for new services to improve the healthcare services, and Europe to use the potential of sharing data.
I think that we have a lot of work to making awareness of this, because usually, and similar like Daniel mentioned, not only German but Bulgarian, I think it's common for European citizens. When it's come to data, AI, people are having a strong skepticism that somebody, I don't know, will clone them, chip them, or whatever. So it is really, really important to make more and more discussion on it.
And I hope with the pilot projects we will prove this and we will show this, and we will have a lot of followers and a lot of people who will believe in this.
And actually, by having this data, their secondary usage is in the fundament of innovation and research. But right now, I want to go directly to Professor EAIF to represent us what Perimet is, yes. First of all, yes. And then several questions, you know. Yeah.
So thank you very much for this possibility to present our center. This is Center of Competency. Personalized innovative medicine. This center include 3 different partners, 2 universities. One is Medical University of Plovdiv, and another University of Plovdiv Paisi Hilendarski, and Institute of Applied Mineralogy in Bulgarian Academy of Science. What we are working in the field of oncology and pharmaceutical biotechnology. This is very interesting. This is very interesting point of our work, because we collaborate with doctors and scientific work in the field of biotechnology. We have 11 different work packages in the field of medicine, biotechnology, and crystallography. 6 of these packages working in Medical University, 5 in Plovdiv University, and 1 in Institute of Mineralogy. Very interesting part of our work is collaboration between different laboratories. We have 9 different laboratories in the field of studying careers. And some of short information about these laboratories. This is not for more information about every one of these laboratories. One interesting laboratory is in the field of molecular genetic analysis, include analysis for different oncology diseases. Another is about flow cytometry analysis in the field of medicine application. Another part of our colleagues working in the field of monitoring and personalized approach to critically ill patients. It's a very, very, very interesting laboratory, because this is a center, first center in Bulgaria that include very important technique, very important equipment about critical ill patients in Plovdiv center, Plovdiv Medical Center. Another laboratory is about pharmacy. Our colleagues from pharmaceutical faculty working in the field of drug delivery systems, and some laboratories in the field of biotechnology include molecular biomarkers in the field of gut microbiome in human. It's very interesting process, because we include preclinical laboratories for in vitro system in different study in this pharmaceutical compounds, another laboratories in the field of biosensors. A very important part of our work is to make our research program not only for science, but to apply our results in different technologies. We have some good results in the field biotechnology. We have some patents and some end products, but the level of these products is laboratory technology. Now we have possibility to organize some spin-off companies. We produce these compounds in laboratory, in the laboratory levels, but now we organize some possibility to produce this in pilot units. This is short for our center in Plovdiv. We are very proud that we have possible to organize very interesting biotechnology and medical center of competence in Bulgaria. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Hill. I was there in your center, and I can confirm that you make me dream about spin-offs. Being in your center, I see so many possibilities to create added value companies that it's, let's say, I have a big imagination, but the center offering, I think, even more. What is, because in recent 2 days, and from before, there is a lot of discussion that we have amazing infrastructure, very smart scientists behind, because I get know with your team, of course, with a strong presence from Plovdiv University, Medical University in Plovdiv, Bulgarian Academic of Science, but how, in your opinion, why the spin-offs are not so factory produced in such a labs? Because we have Center of Excellences, but we see as a common problem, and we are trying to find where is the problem and in order to resolve. And I think this is the perfect place and time among the audience that is familiar with all this thing. And of course, if you have some recommendation on it, it will be great.
Thank you for this interesting question. So, we can organize special discussion about this problem, but it's not time at the moment. I would like to invite you only two according to me, very important areas. First of one is to change mining about scientific work. To be innovative, we have to organize, first of all, we have to organize pilot units for production of prototypes. For example, we have some 3 or 4 products, but in laboratory level, this is very difficult to organize another step of work to go to the business, because we have need to organize pilot unit and pilot technology processes that produce these prototypes and to present different companies. The second point, very important point, is to have a money. Short.
Yeah, always.
What I think, because at the moment, spin-off companies is mainly in the field of IT sector. About medicine and biotechnology, we have need more money. For example, in Europe, I have some information about spin-off in Europe. For example, in France and Germany, they have possible to organize a spin-off using more than 5 million euros. Because a spin-off about medicine application or biotechnology is very expensive. In Bulgaria, this is not possible at the moment. If we organize some centers in the future, we have need money for this organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Professor Iliev, very good points, and yeah, the discussion is just started. You can count on the ecosystem on it. The next speaker is Kirill Kirov, the operational manager of Discoverer, our supercomputer. So Kirill, I think that you share what the supercomputer do better than me, so please take the floor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. For me, it's a great pleasure to be here and to present Bulgarian achievement in supercomputer area. I'll present first a little bit the supercomputer, and after that, don't worry, my presentation will be very short, 100 slides. But Christina asked me to make some correction. They are 50, only 50. And,
with a lot of numbers, right? Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, what we achieve with this European project? We achieve the 91st position in the world, and Bulgarian supercomputer can perform peak of 6 petaflops. This means 6 billion operation per second with floating points. And as a Bulgarians, you know that now you're thinking 91st position from top 500, it's nothing. But I will show some figures for the budget. Our budget was 15 million euros, and the first supercomputer is Frontier in the US. They are the leaders. Exascale machine with budget more than $1.6 billion. In the supercomputer world, the size of the budget is important also. The funding is, it was funded 35% from the European Union, 65% by Bulgarian government. This means that we have to work 35% for the European scientific society, also their startups and their companies, and 65% from Bulgarian one. Also we have one other split, 20% of the machine, we can sell it directly on the market. What is important for Bulgarian quota is that if you apply for compute power, you don't want to wait move, because I think from the day of appliance, if the scientific committee think that this project is valuable, you have to wait 1 week and 2 days for the onboarding and pass the security procedures. And please use this supercomputer because you can help also for startups, scale-ups. The main goal of the supercomputer is to close this gap between the fundamental researchers and ready-to-market products, because this is very important. And of course, the talents. We fight because you know that Bulgarians are very good in math. Unfortunately, they go in the States and in some other countries, and we fight to keep them here, to have a lot of successes in Bulgaria, not all over the world. I'll show a little bit the hardware because it's important for the supercomputer. We have 1,128 nodes. We have more than 300 terabytes of RAM. We have more than 2 petabytes of storage, and also very, very important network, because for supercomputing the network should be very, very fast, 200 gigabits. To see how huge is the development in this area for 2 years, now the new InfiniBand network is 400 gigabits. For example, the GPU connection of NVIDIA in their new machines, DGX H100, is 900 gigabits. This is for less than 2 years. You can see the blade here, and what I can say for the supercomputer, you can see here the software and areas of the development. It's very important because now the panel is for
health and digital. So, example, we are expecting also.
Absolutely. One of the example is that we saved the lives of many mice, because, you know, for all these researches, you have to test your results. And we also, the second advantage is that we can save the time to market with more than 2 years, because we don't have to wait to kill the mouse. We can kill them every day, because this is a simulation. We have a software with full genome of the mouse. Also, in silico and drug discovery, this is very, very brand new trend, especially here in Bulgaria. We have great herbals here, and we can do great nutrition. Also in the Sofia Tech Park, we have a lab, and you can test your results in life, because always you have to test them before to put them in the market. And we're talking about the exams, but this is a digital twin, and today I can give you the exams in this area. We have a fundamental researches in the fight against the cancer area. We try to synthesize the new protein. Also, the second project is in the same area, but we try to synthesize the protein which can help to the patients after the heavy cancer treatment. We also have one very interesting project, because if you discover that something can help to the patients, we have synthesized some way to put this in the body. Sometimes it's even harder than identify what is helpful for the patients. And I think in the second part of the panel, I can show you other examples.
Sure, and I can encourage you to, and later on, sit down. We will speak more with our colleagues about the access, the usage, and the benefits, because usually the companies think that it's very hard, not accessible, or very expensive to use those amazing infrastructure that we have. But this will be for the second part, because I believe that all this answer and good know-how coming from Apostolus, something that I will share with our audience. Several months ago, while we met in Athens, I was amused to understand that we have so much common between us. I mean, you have huge amount of data, bring them to those two people, we can calculate it, we can do a lot of things together. So again, a lot of spin-offs coming out of my mind, but yeah, please share more about Ford.
I don't have a presentation, so you will have to bear with me while I describe a few of our activities. First of all, thank you very much for the kind invitation. It's very nice, and it's a privilege to be among you and really see how vibrant the ecosystem and the facilitators are in trying to go one step further. I'm coming from the Foundation of Research and Technology, ELAS, or FORTH, which is a research center which is a bit special because it's not centered in Athens, but it's regional. Its main base is in Crete, an island in the south of Greece, with research institutes also placed in other cities which are not Athens. One is in Ioannina and the other one is in Patras. The research center, as we are going to discuss mainly about health, we are having 10 research institutes. 2 of them are based on health-related research activities. The Institute of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology and the Institute of Biomedical Research. But as we are also having very strong in our mentality and in our blood the interdisciplinarity of science, we are also having research laboratories in other institutes which are also conducting research on health. I'm coming from the Institute of Computer Science, where we have a laboratory of computational biomedicine, and we are also having a center of e-health applications and services, which is producing software, actually selling software to hospitals to do their job more conveniently and more easily. We are assisting the digital transformation on the hospital side. Now, apart from the research that we're conducting, and we are very good at that, and we are very good at attracting research funding. Currently, we are having something like 500 active research funds, 200 of them, 203 to be more precise, are coming from the EU. We are #1 in Greece in ERC grants. But apart from the research side, it is very important for us, and we are doing it since the beginning, to see that what we are doing in our laboratories is exploited. Apologies for the word, but it's really exploited, and it really comes to the market. We are currently the #1 research actor in Greece in the number of spin-offs. We're close to 30. 6 of them are on the health sector, and ranging from diagnostics to AI. We also have research infrastructures that we want to be used by users, and an initiative which is closely related to what we are discussing about are the national networks for precision medicine, where we are utilizing our knowledge, our expertise, our infrastructure to assist in tackling some diseases which are particularly important in our case. Currently, we have just started the national network the Greek network for precision medicine for oncology, which is really important. My department, this is not just a 4th initiative. This is an initiative that all the major players in Greece, the major research players in Greece play a part. For example, we have members from the Institute of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology who bring in their clinical and their, let's say, biomedical biology or medicine point of view in the field. We are bringing in all the infrastructure needed from the computer science in order to make things work. This is one activity, and the other one which is really important, I think, it's something that, Christina, you like a lot, is ecosystems. We love ecosystems. And we want them, and we want to bring our expertise, our knowledge, and our networking into assisting not just spin-offs, but the companies that are actually there and work to make their job easier and more convenient. So what we do for that, we have facilitated, we're the facilitators of 2 clusters. The one is the Hellenic Bio Cluster. And,
which are a partner of ours, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
And the Hellenic Digital Health Cluster, of course.
Also partner of ours, thank you.
Where we're trying to assist the companies there to innovate, to help them do it more easily, try to find funding, bring them and let them talk with our best researchers, everything that needs to be done in order for them to go a few steps further. This is one part, and the other, which is really important, and it deals a bit with one of the things that maybe you want to ask, is we are currently running one of the very few European digital innovation hubs that focuses on health. It's Smart Health EDI, we have gathered all the research centers on all the activity plus a large system integrator that have an activity on digital and health. And what we are trying to do through this project, I don't know if you are familiar with the concept, is we are trying to assist SMEs and small mid-caps, and of course spin-offs. We're trying to assist them with developing their ideas and their projects and de-risk them a bit in the first steps that they're trying to design and implement. We assist them with our knowledge and infrastructure, and we are reducing their own risk for developing that on their own in order to be able to have in the end an answer whether they can do it or not, and in case they know that they can do it, how they can do it, so they can then follow on and continue further on. This is it, more or less. I hope it covered.
Yeah, very interesting.
A lot.
Several thoughts of my mind, and of course, first question. When we're talking about digital innovation hubs, I love the idea with the colleagues from the clusters exactly. We see a great opportunities because no matter that we are all European country members, still in each country there is a different regulation. So very usually the companies which are develop their product, especially if there is code, if there is a sensitive data or something like this, or medical devices, we having additional topic on this, it's very hard to go on European market, and yesterday this was also pointed several times from our guest. The thing that in this matter, the question to you is, from your point of view, where you can see the common points of cooperation here, at least on Eastern Europe, and of course, generally in European Union. How to start? From where to start?
One very quick idea would be to create common activities to teach our SMEs how to drive through not only the regulation, but how also to work together to take advantage of the data, of the knowledge, of the infrastructure.
Your data, our supercomputer.
Exactly.
I think it's
Exactly.
good deal.
Exactly. Because we have many things in common, mainly needs. We have challenges. We have things that we can offer. These are not common, and we must bring them together. There are tools to do that, and we can take advantage of them.
Sounds as a great plan, and you promise, cross finger, we are okay? Great. Okay, the time is very short. Unfortunately, the discussion is quite interesting, so I will ask very fast question, starting with the representative of the Bulgarian infrastructure. So please explain, is it so hard, company, to use your infrastructure? What is the requirement? If the company want to use the supercomputer, if the company want to use the centers of gate or the perimeter services to make a proof of concept of their services. So starting probably with Sylvia.
Maybe I should be last because our infrastructure is not still ready. So we are hoping in December to enter our new building where the infrastructure will be, where all the equipment, the software, and the gate platform, which will be available for all startups and for our partners, will be there. So I could not share
But
experience.
I know that you always having a plan. Come on. So how you will approach the companies in this matter to use this infrastructure?
So first we are using this infrastructure within our European projects, within our partners, because in each project we are participating, we are having at least 12, 15 partners. So this is something we are offering to our partners and to use it, for example, in this diversity project, for example, for wellness project, our infrastructure will be available. So in addition to this, or for all our partners, research partners, it will be available either in Bulgaria, in the region, or at Europe, and also for startups. So because they could not allow to buy it or to use it, so it will be available, all the data, the expertise, and the GATE platform, which will be integration of different tools. So
thank you. Yeah, sure, Tim. I see a lot of shares. What about you, Professor Iliev? What do you think?
For our center, it's important to organize some projects together with different companies. In the field of biotechnology, it's more easy than in medicine. But we have some experience to work in business companies, not very large companies, but we start with these small companies. It's important to organize more experience in the future about new innovative products. It's important to make not only a research program, but to make together prototype of products and final products too, and to go to the market together with business.
Sounds like a great plan. We will support, of course, each of your wish. I'm very well known as a fairy tale, so yeah. Okay, what about you?
About Discover, I'll spend the time because we have paid access immediately, but I know that you are not interested to pay. I'll discuss more about the free access. We have a very simple site, discover.bg. There is very small form. You can fill it with less than 50 minutes. And if the project is valuable and we can perform it in our infrastructure, we don't have to pay, but we have to have a statue in some scientific magazine, even Science for Mickey Mouse. We don't have any requirements from the point, and you have to put that this calculation was made in Discover supercomputer. That's it.
Okay, thank you. And Apostolos, please share with us how you already did. What was the needed factors in order to bring business and scientists to create spin-offs, because it's very interesting as a model.
It was a difficult question.
I know, but you need the challenge is to make it in 1 or 2 sentences as a conclusion and to conclude the panel. It's easy.
The first one is excellence. When we're talking about research, it has to be excellent, and it has to be the result that you get in the end to be good. Then you need to have the backup of the institute. It's very important. The good thing about Fourth is that we changed completely the mentality in Greece concerning spin-offs. We created one of the most successful spin-offs in Greece, and it was always in the back of our minds that we need to create technology and make it happen and make it and put it to the market. I have to say that in Greek, Fourth, Foundation of Research and Technology Hellas, in Greece is Ίδρυμα Τεχνολογίας και Έρευνας. Actually, it's Foundation of Technology and Research, but we changed it to Fourth because ite and Fourth means the same thing. So we had to make that. But in Greek, what the founders wanted to show was that we want to do excellent research, but we give a preference to technology because we want to do research in order to create technology. And then what you have to do is create the supporting infrastructure to assist the researchers to create the spin-offs. And then I leave it to that.
Thank you. Thank you. Big applause. Amazing guest, amazing topics. I hope that you found them very, very interesting, but not only. Trust me, you can contact all of them. It's quite easy, and actually you can get benefit from it. Okay, so now the next discussion will be also very interesting. It is called Innovative Agrotech Solution, and here on stage I am expecting 2 amazing ladies, with which I think I have, I don't know, something like soulmates. ThinkMinder and everything else. So big applause for Svetlana Boyanova, Chairperson of Institute of Agro-Strategies and Innovation, and Mariana Hamanova, Executive Director of Cleantech Bulgaria and National Point of Contact for Cluster 6. So ladies, whatever you like. Yeah. Okay. One next to other. Let me share with you that this panel, it will be quite hard for me to be a moderator, because I know that you both are amazing. You are specialists in pitching, and the most important is that today I want to increase this topic about what's happened next to Horizon Europe in agro-sector, food technology. Svetlana, of course, we're counting on your speciality to innovation in Agrotech, sharing more about the DIG, but how to start probably with, yeah, Mariana.
Okay. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you all. I thought a lot today what to do with this opportunity to talk about Horizon Europe Cluster 6, which you probably know it's dedicated to food, environment, biodiversity, so very large by itself topics put under one title. And I have prepared several slides which I believe can be useful for the audience, but in the same time I don't want to follow strictly them, because it's just giving some insights and information. Where does Bulgaria stay in terms of participation in Horizon Europe program, and particularly in Cluster 6, and then to have a discussion and to share our experience of how to increase the success when you participate in these calls. I don't know if the slides are visible already. Yeah, perfect. So just very short intro. The Cluster 6 has 7 destinations. It's like 7 subdivided groups, because it concerns the biodiversity, services, healthy environmental food systems, circular economy. I will not read them all, but there are specific focus areas, and each call is targeting different destination under this cluster. Then this is the amount that in 2021 and 22, so from the beginning of the program Horizon Europe, were kind of granted to Bulgarian organizations. So you see here the number. The first one is net contribution, the other one is total cost, meaning the co-funding inclusively. And this is, I've generated some graphs and tables, because I believe it's interesting to see it on the map, how the funding was distributed in Bulgaria, talking about regional discrepancies, talking about regional development. You see bigger part of the funding is going into both regions, south, west, and central region, but on the northern side you see very lower participation. Of course, this has its reasons due to the fact that the major universities and research centers are located also in this territory, but nevertheless, this is how it looks on the map. And these are again, for Bulgaria, data that shows how many grants have been signed so far. You see this is 21 and 22, 51 participation, so this means Bulgarian organizations participating in Cluster 6 calls. This is hardly to be seen for sure, but it's the division projects per dimension and topic, so if someone wants to get that information. And this is another graph showing the type of action. So we have, as you know, in Horizon, we have research and innovation calls, we have innovation calls, and there is also the so-called CSA, which is Coordination and Support Action Calls. And you see participation in most of them, but the biggest number is in research and innovation calls, where, as you know, the funding is also 100%, and different organizations can participate in those. In innovation actions, for example, the co-funding for private commercial partners is 70%, and it requires already a technology that goes closer to the market. Talking TRL 8, for example, should be the final result once you finish the project. Here I have also provided the work program, so if someone wants to read it, because it's important if we talk about Horizon, there is plenty of information, but this is the most important one that should be considered as a general framework about the work program. It's 23-24, so exactly the calls that are upcoming. It's now also known which are the calls which will be published in the next months. Till the end of 24, now it's public which calls when will be published, which is a good opportunity from now if you want to start preparation of certain calls to take a look on that. Here I will just go very briefly, not reading these opportunities, because under each destination I have just gave an example. There are hundreds of calls, so these are just few that I believe can be a showcase. But the majority of the calls are open right now in September, October, and have deadlines in February, and then in September again next year. So this is, I believe, for everyone who participated in Horizon calls knows that 4 or 5 months sometimes are even not enough if you want to build a good proposal and work with good partners collaboratively in order to prepare it. And here, of course, after that you will receive the presentation, are just examples. The funding usually goes between 3 and 16 million euros for the whole consortium, but whatever you see bigger than 10 million of funding, just please keep in mind that the European Commission expects consortia bigger than 20 partners. So really large scale projects, because sometimes, you know, 10 million sounds kind of a very attractive amount that the project can be about, but then you should have really big number of partners from various geographical areas of Horizon Europe countries, which are the EU countries, associated countries, which are described in the guideline. And also there are different, I think the Western Balkans are also part of the program as well, so no think, I'm sure about it. So building bigger consortiums. What I wanted to share with you, and of course we can go more in detail if there are questions, is that all these calls are very much about knowing what each partner and each country is strong at in the concrete field, and proposing to the international partnerships activities which you are confident about, in which you are good, experienced, and very knowing what to do and how to present it. Because of course it is innovation or research action, but nevertheless the European excellence is a very important criteria, and each country should present in the proposal its excellence in this field, in the certain field of the call. And this is sometimes not the case when we see and when different people call us and ask us about advice on how to proceed with a certain application, because it is not about being part of something that you will not need, you know, just to take a grant of X euro, but to present it like a value chain of partners and results that you can use and co-generate with them. And this is how Horizon works. And I think this is the main principle that very usually is not mentioned, for what you can use Horizon funding. And it just sounds very interesting and catchy, and it's very nice to be there, and this is the biggest program for research and innovation in Europe. Yes, it is true, but the mindset and the starting point is important, and the partnerships. We had conversations in the previous panels about trust, about talking to people. Usually the consortium are composed with partners that you already know, or at least 5, 6 stronger partners that you already know. So I will not take longer, because I believe this is so big topic. I will it's not possible to really be 100% sure that you're saying everything, because it's very case by case. But I believe these were the 2, 3 guiding principles which are important to mention, because I don't like when we gather people all together and start talking how bad Bulgaria is performing. It is true that we are not among the top submitters of proposals under Horizon, but nevertheless, I believe that they're good examples. That's why I showed 51 partners in cluster 6, and even more in the other clusters. We should take it from here and make it grow in a positive way, and this is my message, actually.
Thank you for the very brief, actually, representative of such a huge cluster. I'm impressive. Yes, something that just to share to the audience, probably I forgot, but here we have 3 national point of contacts. Yeah. So if you have questions, because question always they will be on place, just contact us. Each of us is open for discussion and to support you in your process. And of course, talking about innovation in agri-sector, quite hard topic, I think. The preparedness of the companies in order to become more technology prepared for all these opportunities that Horizon Europe showing, I believe that one of the solutions is Digital Innovation Hub that Svetlana Boyanova created, and of course you are partnering there. And I'm quite curious, Svetlana, of course, to share with us more about the hub, but later on, what are the challenges, and is it possible to bring finally more spin-off in agriculture, which is my really old dream, and I think common passion, because I remember our first meeting.
Yes, thank you very much for the invitation, and thank you to all of you that stay here Friday before the weekend. It's tough, I know that, so I will be more practical. And just like a continuation of the words of Mariana and Christina, I think that in order to improve our participation in Horizon, this is my personal experience, we should first trust each other in the country. So now I would show you an example of this kind of partnership in the country. And if the people realize that it not hurts if you trust someone, and most of all, if you show to the final consumers, the final user of your innovation or whatever, is it digital or what is it, biotechnology, it doesn't matter, then the Horizon participation will be a game for us, just because we know what exactly we want. For the moment, what I see is that we actually don't know exactly what we want from these calls. And that's why we cannot take advantage of all of these calls. First, we have to find each other, how to search each other, why to search each other, and then the financing is coming naturally. So what we did in reality, we established this Digital Innovation Hub in 2019, and it is without EU financing. At the beginning, it was just a national hub, and the idea was just to just to explain very simple to our final users, digital technologies, these are farmers. Farmers are very different from the other users, especially in the framework of the Common Agricultural Policy, where a lot of subsidies are coming. But also, this is the sector which needs really a lot of innovations, but not because it is written in the papers of the European Union and Brussels said that it is this one. No, we have to explain first and then to show, to touch for the farmers that this is something which is really good for them. I mean, they have a benefit, real benefit. They can touch it every day, somewhere. And that's why we made this Agro Hub with around 27 organizations. And we started. At the beginning, it was very difficult because of the financing. But then in 2021, I think, it was the call of the Digital Europe program for the European Digital Innovation Hubs. And almost all of our members of the hub, the national one, wanted to join efforts and to make a real good, practical, I think very good project for the farmers, especially for the farmers. This is my accent. We didn't make it because of the universities or because of the consultants or because of the whatever, administration. We did it for farmers. And that's why we succeeded so far. This hub became European Digital Innovation Hub. It means that we are part of the European network of all digital innovation hubs, which are a huge advantage for each hub to share experience with the others in the European Union. If we don't have something to present and to show to our farmer, we can bring it from another colleagues from the other European digital innovation hubs. And our hub is based in the agricultural region. This is Plovdiv region, where the university, Agricultural University Plovdiv is, the Institute for Vegetable Crop Production is there, the Center for Plant Biology and Biotechnology Systemic. And these are the organizations which are coming from the research and science, of course. The other group of organizations, these are the users, National Grain Association, Grain Producer Association mainly, but also some greenhouses we have, and some vineyard farmers who are dealing with the production of grape and then wine. The other group of organizations are like Cleantech, like ARC Fund under the Applied Research Foundation. I don't want to forget someone. But the crucial thing is that we have the last but not least organizations. These are technological companies. For me, it was very challenging to unite technological companies with the business and with the universities. They met each other for the first time. And now they know why they met. Because now they are doing together every day in real time meetings, let's say on the vineyard. They are going, following the grape cultivation, the diseases on the grape, for example, and the scientist, the technological company expert, and the owner of the vineyard, for example, could share information, analysis, let's say for 3 years, they will do it for 3 years, this is the project, and they could make a recommendation finally that could be used from the other farmers in Bulgaria. And this is the precious thing in our project, because it is really practical. It's not because project for the project, 3 million euro, 3.5 million euro. No, it's not like this. We don't see the project like this. Of course, we have a very good experts, and they should be paid as should be paid every expert in Bulgaria. It doesn't matter from the science university or the technological company, it doesn't matter. So we are trying to be as much open and to be very fair to everyone. The project, as I said, is with different profiles and experience of organizations, and the main idea is to be focused on some topics. our services are particularly to tackle a problem. What are the problems in Bulgaria, but not only, in the European Union as a whole? First, we have inefficient production. Especially recent years because of the COVID, because of the disturbed food chain, because of the war in Ukraine. You know that maybe most of you, they heard like citizens that last week we have protests of our farmers because of the import of grain from Ukraine. This is something which is very difficult to tackle. To talk about innovations in this kind of times is very difficult. So our work is even getting harder. Also, we have a very slow modernization, especially small and medium enterprise farmers. We have a weak investment activity, almost no implementation of innovation in the sector, apart from the big good machineries from the companies who are bringing the machinery from abroad with GPS, with the software, etc. A lack of information because everything is in English. Farmers don't read English. They don't go to translate. They don't have time to translate. So the hub is there for them to help them to understand. Of course, there is a lack of support and funding, not enough, and limited access to experts. And having all this, we decided to give them some services. First of all is ecosystem and networking. This is one of the activity, and we are doing together with all the members of the hub, all the partners. As you may see, we were together opening the first national demo point in Plovdiv in the Institute for Vegetable Crops. These are the all demo points that we started already, but we have 3 years to finish 16 demo points in all the country, mainly focused in Plovdiv region, of course, but not only, where we want our farmers to come and to see and to understand the technology that we are providing to them and what problem they will solve with this technology. We don't want them to buy something very fancy, very nice looking, and to say, I'm very modern, I'm very intelligent, smart agriculture, all the words that nothing for them. Believe me, for farmers, this is nothing. They just want to see the result at the end of the day when they sell their production at the low cost, for example. The first demo point is this greenhouse. As you may see, our technological companies, Ondo is on the right side, you can see. They are providing automatization of the greenhouses. Technologica is providing satellite images technology. And Bivine, which is a startup company, providing some recognition of disease of the vineyard when they use artificial intelligence to check the leaf of the grape, for example. It's very interesting, by the way. I can talk a lot. And then skills and training, we are doing all kind of, this is our calendar for October. As you can see, we are focused a lot on different technologies, on different economical analysis as well, because they don't have this culture for economic and market, etc. So you guys are also helping about that, not only agronomical or veterinary issue, business consultants in access to finance, yes, we are trying to find a synergy with all the network in the EDIH, the European level, the digital accelerator, transformation accelerator at the European Union level is helping us to work together. So that's from me. If you have questions, I'm ready to answer. But really, as a step to Horizon, which I think Horizon is a very good program, but it needs to be more practical. First, we have to trust each other, and then we are ready to go and to find our partners at the European Union level, and just to start really focus on the project. It doesn't matter how much is the money for this call or this call. This is not important at the end of the day.
Well, big applause. I think that we had,
as I thought, no need to moderate you, no need to whisper you what to talk. You are a brilliant lady. And only one thing, very briefly, but I think that we're supposed to point out every time that there is some obstacles. What's happened with the co-funding of the European Digital Innovation Hubs? Yeah. Well, because you both are involved, very briefly, one.
We said it with this aha.
So the answer is aha.
If there is someone that could listen to us, we can ready to share it, but otherwise I don't think to.
I think the message is from this tribune is quite important. In the morning, the Premier, the Euro Commissioner, the directors of HDEA, they are all talking about what are the problems, how we can advise and to improve, and they confirm that they will support us, of course. And let's point out some general things that we see as obstacles, because the job is amazing.
The main issue is that, for example, European Union is directly, the Commission gave us the advance payment immediately, which allowed us to start create these digital demo points. This costs money, and our technological companies had to order the equipment to start doing this automatization, etc. If we don't start on time, the money for the project will be not enough. But now, the Bulgarian part, 1 year delay with everything. We started already, we cannot wait, because as I said, we didn't do the project because of the project. We just want to
just because of the money?
Yeah, not because of the money.
It's
but
about
now,
the
because of the money, we have to provide bank guarantee. Guess who in Bulgaria, which bank will give bank guarantee to non-governmental consortium? Which one? Tell me. And just like that,
to ask the banks,
we are pushed on the wall just to start with our own resources, which is very difficult, to be honest. Otherwise, everything is possible. Really is possible. But sometimes we have to go beyond the... Okay, the rules are strict. This is a regional fund. I know that. But anyway, in these cases, they have to make some kind of exceptions, let's say. Because we are not business, and we are doing it in public favor, in public good, not for private good. This whole thing is public.
Absolutely. Just reconfirming what Svetla said. Because we are in the middle of something like a nightmare, just not to be very, modest about it. But nevertheless, I believe that first, this is the first such project, which is about synergy grant between horizontal European funding with funding from the operational programs, which is again European, but under different, different regulation. And I believe that today's event can be very good on putting some points about what can be a next topic of discussion with the Bulgarian policymakers, with the European partners. And I believe that this synergy grant mechanism, now we start seeing it also in other programs as approach, and we should talk how to facilitate it. Because even the situation that we are now with the EDIHs, it's just one example. Just imagine to have another...
Value are coming up on board. Come on, many more and many more.
Exactly.
Yeah. We won't go there, don't worry.
Different other instruments, but I believe there should be some kind of a synergetic approach and conversation to start now for the future on behalf of the European Commission and national institutions engaged, because sometimes the feeling is like the Bulgarian institutions are probably not good enough and fast enough, but really the European Commission is also not helping a lot with upfront, because when you design such a program, you should design it upfront, discuss it with the member states, know how to execute it, and not just say okay, we give you 50%, do whatever you want, because then the member states are not able to do whatever they want, again, by another European regulation. And this is somehow to be overcome, because otherwise, I believe none of us will start the next project with Synergy grant in the near future.
This is what I wanted. I want to say to the politicians at the European level and the DigiConnect, etc., and here in Bulgaria, don't stop even one person who is so enthusiastic like us. I mean, we are one of the people, organizations that even dare to try. And this is something that should be appreciated by all of the politics and administration at the all level. And please don't stop us. We are trying like you are. This is a pilot project itself, European Digital Innovation Hubs. But at the end, if the final user is happy, they should not be so much worried about all the administrative rules.
Are spin-offs, and this is actually what united us.
So that's my, let's say, request for them.
Ladies, it was amazing as usual. Big applause with this. We increased a lot of interesting topics, but yeah, the time is short, and our dialogue continue after the final panel, actually, who is coming up. So right now it's time for gender balance, and we will talk more about the infrastructure, more about capabilities which are supporting spin-offs. For me, it's a great pleasure to invite on stage Mr. Todor Mladenu, who is the Chief CEO of Sofia Tech Park. Big applause, Todor. Of course, for me, it's a great honor to invite Professor Dr. Engineer George Tudorov, who is from Technical University of Sofia, in the Faculty of Industrial Technology. I want to invite on the stage Svetoslav Mulov, who is the head of Technology Transfer Office next to Kvazar Competence Center. And Professor Todor Ganchev, head of Artificial Intelligence Laboratory at Technical University of Varna. Welcome. Please take your seat. And let me count. No, only Todor is not member of AI Cluster. Very interesting. Todor, I think that we need to discuss this part. Gentlemen, good evening. Thank you for agreeing to spend your Friday afternoon talking about spin-offs. But in the last 2 days, we discussed a lot of perspective, a lot of challenges. We're gathering huge support from the different partners, from national and European governments. So I think we are on the good place. You are all, I taking you as let's say, champions, because you have a lot of successful stories to mention. And I can offer to start with Professor Georgi Tudorov to share about his activities, about the faculty, but not only, the laboratories, and yeah, a lot of things you can share with the audience. So not sure from where to start even.
Thank you for invitation and for organization of such a event that's encouraging activity in innovation field, especially in spin-off field. I'm a director of Center of Excellence in field of mechatronics, National Center of Excellence in field of mechatronics and clean technologies. That is one of the 3 groups of such a cluster campuses in the biggest Bulgarian Center of Excellence. And part of this center are laboratories of Faculty of Industrial Technology. Infrastructure is the critical aspect of all innovation process, of course, but not only infrastructure is a critical. Together with infrastructure, that means equipment, science equipment, different elements. Is very important to have a synergy between different laboratories, different institutions, This is the second important element of the infrastructure. Call it, let's say, synergy and networking between the laboratories and between the different growing very fast latest year infrastructure in Bulgaria. And third important element of the infrastructure and is environment, creative environment. We have many different labs in Bulgaria that are more and more good equipped, but the creative environment is one of the critical aspects. And altogether, synergy, networking, good equipment, and creative environment open a really new opportunity for our scientists, our entrepreneurial young students that on the field of they have ambitions, they can create ambitions to the real life. And many times was noticed test before invest. This is the next stage that is important. Our activities are in the different fields, from energy sector, from mechatronics, in field of medical implants, many aspects, and maybe is important to notice just the common points. Next, in the developing of the discussion, I will point out some examples.
What are actually, because I know that you have experience, and actually you are a spin-off creator, long time time ago, you mentioned even the time when there is no, let's say, explanation what is spin-off, but from your opinion, what are the key factors to have a successful spin-off? And probably to share some experience in this matter.
For instance, we have such a practice, not officially spin-off call it, but during the years, more than 5 or 7 companies was born in our environment, but not following the step-by-step technology of spin-offs. One of the factors of success is to have a good ideas and good knowledge, good experience, and encouraging entire process by expertise people that exist nowadays in our labs, first. And second one is to have a very entrepreneurial people. This is another critical point. And this fusion between the people that wants to make practical innovations and creative environment open a real opportunity. We have such a practice, but officially spin-off, we already not done at the moment.
You are ongoing, I'm sure, and together for at least
we hope.
Probably 20, 25, I see such number, possibly. Okay, going to Mr. Todor Mladenov. Todor, can you please share more about the tech park, and especially I think that the audience and the people who are watching the stream and the videos, what type of activities Sofia Tech Park making for increasing spin-off culture and to support technology companies? Thank you.
Thank you, Christina, first for the invitation. I was not able to attend enough this event, but I was following through the publication. I saw really a lot of very interesting and very up-to-date topics that you have discussed yesterday and probably today. When we are talking about spin-offs, it is almost everybody is aware that this is the current trend, and it is proven, the current trend of bringing technology to the market with one of the most, advanced, methodology from one side, and then bringing probably most value. Why? Because spin-offs are usually companies, or let's say teams that actually come, usually I say, they can be also mixed, but usually they come from the university or from some research units. But what is more important in this case, that they bring their technologies or innovations based on a deep research, which nowadays turns to be really important, because everybody all over the world, I mean, many countries have targeted that they want to go into the new technologies to change their economies from, let's say, kind of analog to more digital, from resource-oriented to technology productions and this type of industrial development. And today, having so much competition, developing technology based on deep research, on a lot of knowledge, on patience, on support to young and talented people in order to develop their skills in either in their knowledge domain, but also like entrepreneurs, like Professor Todorov said, it is very important, and this will will probably bring most of the value of any type of technology. It will be more sustainable, it will be probably more expensive, it will, you know, bring more benefits to the community after all. So when we are talking about that, I don't want to, you know, paint a beautiful picture that everything is fine and we have done a big progress either in Sofia Tech Park or, I mean, as a society as a whole. We have a long way to go. So we are starting from, let's say, not zero, but we have good entrepreneurs. We have wonderful talents in software, in different types of sciences. We have excellent researchers, but what we are still missing is the cooperation, or the, let's say, the mutual understanding between those different community groups. So we are supposed, I mean, as let's say stakeholders, different organizations, training organizations, organizations like us, like Sofia Tech Park, the Bulgarian institutions, we are supposed to develop this this environment. This environment should be beneficial for all these groups. It also has to be related to develop the competencies of all those stakeholders, and to provide the necessary resources. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's different type of support, advice, mentoring, whatever. You know this very well. So we have a long way to go, yeah. And what we need to do is to open up our resources. I mean, in the centers of competence, in the labs of Sofia Tech Park, in our facilities where we actually provide the services, in order to reach a certain point where we can actually talk about real spin-offs or technology or knowledge-driven companies.
Great, and something that I think that we can go deeper from today's event as a result is at the end, the final presentation will be provided by Professor Eugenia Kovacheva, who will share more about the opportunities of goals and that Horizon Europe providing in digital and in cluster. I think that probably this collaboration, not only on the level of park, but also education among the companies, what advantage they can take from the program, is something very significant. Okay, going to Svetozar. Probably because every time when I see you, and I'm very happy to see your typical example of young, educated person who is back to Bulgaria to support the ecosystem. I know that you make your graduation in UK, and probably here is the moment to announce something special, and I see colleagues here that are very good news, the European Commission and the United Kingdom signed up a very historical agreement right now to stimulate more cooperation with European Union countries and UK next to Horizon Europe. So good news. But Svetlana, can you please share more about Kvazar and of course what the technology institute that you are leading doing next to this amazing center?
Hi, Christina. Thank you very much for inviting me. Center of Competence Kvazar is much smaller center of competence and a center of innovation within Bulgaria. We have 8 partners. Within them, we have research institutes of Bulgarian Academy of Sciences, as well as some universities from around Bulgaria, as well as one research NGO. What we focus on is several work packages which are really focused on robotics, sensor technology, quantum communication, which is quite big for us at the moment, as well as risk management. And these are the areas which we focus mostly. And within them, my job is really to find out how to leverage the knowledge and experience of our scientists to channel it towards some inventions which they can be met either by the industry, either by an investor, or to somehow continue their life through maybe even some European programs or some partnerships. In UK, we are also working with several consortia there. This is what we really focus on. We try to. As it was mentioned, we have done a lot so far as an ecosystem. And yesterday I even heard that they compared us to the Romanian one, which we're a little bit ahead. Well, that might be the case, but certainly that's not a point for being actually on the back seat and being slacking a little bit. On the contrary, we should be stepping on the pedal and actually enhancing and stepping on that base. And we're really trying to engage with as many partners as possible to start. I'm very much a believer of the ARM Holdings approach. ARM Holdings is a chip company which just became public as a company a week ago. And their approach is really to have partnerships from very informal ones to very formal ones, and to have as many in order to be able to leverage that sort of a database, that sort of a network of people. And that's what we are trying to do at the moment. We do it on several levels. One of them is to see whether we can find some investors who are interested in our technologies, whether we can find other organizations which can help us make more partnerships in exactly the technologies which we end up developing. And thirdly, we are trying to create an environment where we teach our scientists more and more, because technology transfer is not as easy as I thought. So that's why it's a learning point for me constantly, but also I believe for a lot of my colleagues in Center of Competence Kvazar, as well as I believe in the ecosystem in Bulgaria.
And what will be or planned formula for creation spin-offs in Kvazar?
So we are seeing several which at the moment what we're focused on one side with quantum communication, we are the national coordinator within Bulgaria. We're developing the first test environments and networks throughout really Bulgaria, but mainly within a metropolitan network within Sofia, as well as to connect Sofia to the Greek border. So after that, we can connect to Greece. So what we have is, through that project, through being the national coordinator, we are actually able to see where the technology is, right at the forefront of it. And we see a way of two things there. The first one is to be able to provide consulting services as a spin-off. A second one is to be able to, we're trying to get actually with some colleagues from Greece, hopefully, to assemble our own platforms, because the quantum communication requires an additional layer within the communication infrastructure, and we're trying to develop these platforms ourselves. Why? Because it's important. They're about encryption. It's about encrypting our information in a new way. And I believe it's important to know how you encrypt your information in order to be sure that there is no backdoors, there are no, there isn't anything else really there. These are two around quantum communication.
Very interesting. Thank you for the answer. Okay, going to Professor Ganchev. Please share more about your activities next to Technical University of Varna, some interesting projects, and yeah, more about.
Thank you. First of all, I wear many hats, and one of them is head of the Artificial Intelligence Laboratory. And I will start with that. What we do fundamental research, but today I will focus on the applications because the topic is innovation and spin-offs. And we run a number of projects. Our, let's say, flagman today is the Iliad project. And we develop digital twin of the Varna Bay. We are member of a large community of 56 partners on 3 continents. And this is a project of 20 million euro, which is coordinated by a Greek company. And we are the largest partner in terms of work effort in this project. And our area of innovation is harbor safety. And within this project, we develop the so-called Varna Port Pilot together with the Bulgarian Port Infrastructure Company, who is the second Bulgarian partner, building on their infrastructure, on the sensor network they have across the Black Sea, building on, let's say, existing know-how and infrastructure inside the Technical University of Varna. We create unique applications, and one of them is more or less ready. It will be deployed in the Bulgarian port in Varna first. It is blind navigation of ships in unfavorable weather conditions during fog, during strong winds. This is a tool that captains and pilots can use to support their activities. Otherwise, in such conditions, they just wait for weather to improve. And the second use case that we develop in this project is a decision support tool for the marine navigation dispatchers that actually control the access to facilities. Varna Port is infrastructure of, let's say, 30 kilometers long, and the weather conditions at one side are completely different from the weather conditions on the other side of the port. And currently, dispatchers make a decision based on weather forecast, which has a resolution of 10 square kilometers. The dynamic models that are currently used have a resolution of 10 square kilometers. And this means that if there is fog in one side of the port is closed. This could be for 1, 2 days, a week, which generate losses and also pollution because the ships stay on the rate and generate carbon dioxide. And what we did is we developed high-resolution weather models, and we are able to predict the weather on the short term with very specific localization, one square kilometer. And then we are also able to predict 1, 2, or 3 hours ahead what's happening, the wind speed, the mist, and then the visibility. And why this is important, 3 hours is nothing, but this is the longest maneuver in the Varna port. A ship entering the Varna port has to, let's say, maneuver, and the longest one is just 3 hours. So, and, but why this is important? This project is, let's say, one example how we incorporate our students, our PhD students in the process of innovation. And going a little bit wider, I would like to emphasize what the Technical University is doing on the spin-off and the startup, let's say, area. We work closely with the European Institute of Innovations and Technology, specifically with the Raw Materials Directorate. 2 months ago, we just finished one project. We are partner in this project called Cloud Earth. And this project is focusing on, let's say, creating opportunities for development of AI-based opportunities for non-engineers, people who are from natural science, who do remote sensing, people who do pure research. We train them in artificial intelligence technology, in big data analysis and such things. But within this project, we also created a space at the Technical University of Varna, which is called Space for Innovators. And then it is fully equipped so that students can test their own ideas, and then they can even experiment free of charge for delivering, let's say, the first step of their path to startup company. And then on the level of this project, we supported 4 spin-offs, quite, let's say, surprisingly, not in Bulgaria, but in the UK, working closely with the Edinburgh University Innovation Company. And
so, do you think that this activity, this amazing project and working project has a real fundament of creation of a spin-off here in Bulgaria? Because yes, UK, come on. I can speak hours and hours about the spin-off culture, etc. There, but we need also here solutions which are working. And with this, because yeah, the time is always very briefly, and this will be the final question to all of you. From your point of view, which are the key needs that we need to do in order to produce successful startups?
With one word, education. That's
the Minister of Education in the morning said the same thing, so I think we are in one direction. Okay?
For me, a platform which can help is actually at the moment there is a proposed new law related to spin-offs and startups. So I believe that's quite key for us. It's a good first step.
Amazing. Okay, Professor Todorov.
Yeah, legal obstacles exist, but I think we have to overjump legal problems, but they are very strong at the moment. Next important thing is to have enough critical mass of real viable technologies that can open new opportunity from market point of view, because just to encourage formally to have spin-offs, to fulfill some indicators in the different programs is not the sufficient way. In our practice, we are very close to open such a spin-off company, especially in field of sodium-ion batteries. We have a massive investment at the moment from private sector in our center of excellence, but we are looking for a right moment and right way how to introduce such a spin-off, and legal borders
here
are
on
one
the next
of the
edition.
important
It will be
things.
in June next year, so I will invite you again and expecting a lot of results.
I hope we can show such a happy end of this idea, but startups is one of the way to start, because public-private cooperation at the moment from a legal point of view is not so clear, especially for state universities like Technical University of Sofia. But we are optimistic at the moment and for a near future that different forms, spin-offs are one of the important ways to encourage not only small initiatives, but the massive initiatives. We have an initiative for green energy storage that is very critical for a Bulgarian energy system, for Bulgaria to be competitive for a near future, not only in the particular fields that we can grow, but this is important from state point of view, from national point of view, and there is the fields of spin-offs once again. That is different ways, and we are on road at the moment.
Thank you, thank you. And Todor.
Yes, just a few sentences more. I agree with what was said just seconds ago, and I would like to provide one, let's say, a little bit practical example. Right now, there is a tendency of many, let's say, proven or successful industrial guys or people from the industries that they go to the university, so they kind of teach, you know, provide lectures, mentoring, and this type of activities. I think this is very practical, and it could be very successful in the future, because those practitioners, I mean, professors, PhDs in the universities, they can benefit from such contacts with people from the industry. And if this is, if such a tendency is really supported and pushed forward, I think such a collaboration in the, let's say, in the area of the universities will be beneficial for people who actually start their science career, but learning from the industrial guys, seeing how they think, seeing how they are developing their entrepreneurial spirit, innovative products might be really beneficial for those guys in the university in order to develop, let's say, a knowledge-based product or technology that might turn off into a spin-off later on.
May I add one word, one sentence? I think one more thing we need.
UK education, right? One sentence and the last. UK education.
I completely agree. What I wanted to add is, as Nelson Mandela used to say, rest in peace, we also probably need inspiration in our ecosystem to have a great example so we can see it, so we can learn from it, so we can surround it, so we can copy it.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for this amazing discussion. Always is a pleasure to talk with you, and I know that we can do it hours and hours. Big applause for our panelists. Everyone who wants to ask them for the question, of course, later on there will be a very fruitful networking. And the last part of the program, as I mentioned and as I promised you, I want to invite Professor Eugenia Kovacheva, who will share with us, next to Cluster Digital and Industry, more information about the upcoming course opportunities, but also I hope to stimulate more of you to make more activities when it comes to Horizon Europe. So, Jenny, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much to all of you that you are staying here Friday evening after 5. You are here. I'll be very fast because it is time to think about the main idea, networking for Horizon. And okay. Yeah, what I'm starting to speak. If you remember this morning, our colleagues from HDEA said for synergy. Yeah, cluster 4 is for 3 main areas: industry, digital, and space. We have a common site as a starting point, and then distribute in different sub-areas. But before to tell this, let's remember some dates. Cluster 4 days, Info Days, 11-12 of October. funding opportunities will be present. Colleagues from Hadea will be again, and it will be online. Yeah, this is one of the adventures after the pandemic that we're using to have more online meetings. Yeah, different. I don't know. Okay. There is, you see all areas of cluster 4, and in the end, we are starting with open submissions. There are a lot, 22, and they started 10 days ago, less than 10 days, and finished in most of them at the beginning of February. And this means the clusters are already set up. But there is a good news. Maybe in November, will be open more 23 calls. Therefore, sustainability, resilience, and transform. This is important to make collaboration and to find brokerage events. On the side of the ICT for industry, the project for the NCPs for industry, we have already some announcements for the brokerage event, the 19th of October. Will be online again. Take adventures. This is for 27th of October. Different, it is for France and Germany, but they are based there. Yesterday was announced that if you want to apply to visit and to be in person on these events, Ministry of Education can support you. And take this advantage to be on these places. Really, you see outside how many connections you made these 2 days, and new idea. Some of my colleagues asked me on new ideas how to continue. And especially for the cluster 4, this is the enter point. You see the Twitter, or now X, account for this. And on LinkedIn, you can reach us again. And this is on the right side is my email. Write me, and if I can support you with contacts. I receive a lot of information like any other NCP for extending the networks, for looking for the new partners. I'm sending information, and ask me. Don't hesitate. Thank you for this forum, Christina, and maybe.
Thank you, Eugenia, for the fruitful information. Yes, there is a lot of colleagues who are, I'm sure, quite suitable. I just read the articles, and yeah, I can point them with names. With this, I want to say that right now it's time to closure finally the day 2 of Spinoff. I want, of course, to thank to all partners and organizers that supporting this amazing event. Of course, the Health and Life Science Cluster Bulgaria, AI Cluster Bulgaria, Vangavis, Venrais, Ministry of Education, Hadea, ISTEP, with the support of Fund of the Funds, Technical University of Sofia, Sofia Invest, Premium Co-working Spaces, CRIP, Bulgarian Investment Agency, DNA, EIT Digital, Medical University of Plovdiv, Sofia Tech Park, and many, many more. I remind you that the event is officially included next to the European Biotech Week. Of course, I want to give my personal appreciation to our partners from OMI TV for 2 days. Those guys made a lot of miracles. Streaming. Amazing quality, people are happy, I can assure you. Then from yesterday I can read everybody who write me with some discussion, etc. So thank you guys for this. Of course, I want to give a special thanks to Zenta Media, those amazing guys which were everything, everything. From catering, from, I don't know, photographing, shooting, printing, so thank you a lot. Of course, I want to give a special thanks to Google Cloud, and especially for the DevFest Plovdiv, leading by Paulina Chotrova. Okay, Poli, let's, come on stage, come on. Yeah, do not making the things twice here, of course. And of course, BioHub Group. I want to thank all of you who become part. Probably right now you're thinking you are a few number of people into the hall, but from our statistic in those 2 days, we have over 350 people going through this room. So I think it's a huge adventure. For us, it was privilege, the new European Commissioner in Innovation, to choose our stage, our audience, and our topic for the first official coming up. I want to thank, of course, our media partners from DIRBG, ESG News, Bauska Nauka, Economics, DevStyler, Profit, Leader, and many more. But time to call our partners, right? Dimitar, come on stage. Desi, Mitko, come on stage. Kauyan, where is Kauyan? I don't see Kauyan. Oh, he will miss the amazing. I see Boyan in the top. Come on, Boyan. It's we are making finally the wrap up. So some rest for us and a lot of networking for everybody. And Kauyan on stage. Teti, Emil, Premium Corking Spread, come on. Okay. So we owe, I think. Thank you. We have a date for the next spin-off. It will happen, just me. On, can you read?
27, 28 July.
June next year, come on. Of course, everybody will know. Okay.
Maybe next year will be Spinoff Europe.
Yeah, actually, please consider and let's start thinking. We have only 6 months, but let's start establish the, Startup Europe, Spinoff Europe. Yes, okay. Okay, thank you, big applause, and passion to meet you.
Thank you, Chrissy, thank you.